All right, what up, everybody? Good morning. Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. We say good morning to everybody watching live on YouTube. Subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic. You can watch us live every morning between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Of course, listening on 97.5 The Fanatic on the radio. Good morning. On the Fanatic app, good morning. We say good morning to Ray Dunn. Hello, Raymond.
Hello, Johnny. How are you?
I'm fantastic. And then the number 2 chair today for the second day in a row, his name is Sean Brace. Good morning, Sean.
Oh, it's great to be back here on a Tuesday. Another bang-up job last night as far as the NFL playoffs. It was a little bit of an ugly game, but it's always more fun when you're on the right side. Texans in a rout.
It's which I didn't. I don't know why.
Oh, no.
I've been cloudy.
Oh, sorry.
I know I've been cloudy in these playoffs, but that was an absolutely horrific game. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers looked 52 years old. Is he 42, 41?
Yeah.
He's got to be gone.
Yeah, that defense is pretty darn good.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, Ray, even though I bet against both teams, I did pick the Bills or the Texans to go to the Super Bowl. Why I'm picking against them and not following through on my pick, I don't know.
How does that work?
I don't know.
understand that one at all.
You can't lose.
But I did say it, and I still believe it, but I'm picking against them in the games. Well, there was also 3.5 points, so I wasn't necessarily picking the Texans to lose.
Yeah.
That's 5 straight lock of the weeks, by the way, for me.
Oh,
Well,
look at you.
Yeah,
What
go
did I
Texans,
have?
go.
What did I have?
It's a great question. We'll review the tape.
All right. I think I actually had it. Did I? I don't know.
I think we agreed on that. I think we've gone back-to-back weeks where we both had Carolina, and we both were like, yeah, that Texans team's not losing.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't. Whatever.
5 straight weeks.
Tomorrow I could have a different pick than I do today.
It's all right.
But so here's my question to start the show. And good morning to everybody. Here's my question to start the show. Do we have the right head coach and do we have the right quarterback going forward? They're going to be the quarterback and the head coach next year. I'm not debating, John Harbaugh, and we would hate John Harbaugh almost immediately. But John Harbaugh's not coming in to coach the Eagles. Nick Sirianni's going to be the head coach. Jalen Hurts is going to be the quarterback of the Eagles, and he should be the quarterback of the Eagles. Both of them should return next year. Sirianni should return as head coach. Jalen Hurts should return as quarterback. They won the Super Bowl last year. I want to make sure I'm saying all the things that I need to say to start the conversation. I'm aware that they won the Super Bowl last year. I'm aware that they went to the Super Bowl 2 out of 3 years. And yes, Jalen Hurts was not only the Super Bowl MVP, but Sean, he would have been the Super Bowl MVP if they would have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. Mm-hmm. What's
so
another
much
one?
Good.
He outplayed Pat Mahomes in 2 Super Bowls.
Yep.
Right? All those things are true.
Sure.
All those things are true. Here's something else that's true about Jalen Hurts. He wasn't very good this year in the regular season. Here's another thing that it's true. He wasn't very good last year in the regular season. Here's something that also is true. He struggled down the stretch of 2023. And here's something else that is true. Kevin Patullo sucked, and this offense sucks. And Nick Sirianni is completely helpless in helping out the offense. 2023, Brian Johnson struggled, new offensive coordinator. Nick Sirianni couldn't do anything. He might as well be coaching defense. This year, offense struggled. Nick Sirianni, puts up his hands like, what do you want me to do? Right? All of those things can be true. So it's not just on Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying that this is all about Jalen Hurts. But the fact that everything around him, including the play caller and the offensive line and this and that, needs to be awesome for them to be an elite team, I'm just telling you how I feel today, which is I like Jalen Hurts. He's a champion. He's got balls. In the biggest games of his life, he plays the best. He also struggles to be a functioning quarterback during regular season periods. So I think that it's a real question when I'm talking about going forward, not next year, going forward, and we're going to do this with the coach too. But are we sure we have the right quarterback? And we'll talk about Sirianni. Are we sure, Sean Brace?
You want to start with the quarterback?
Start with the quarterback. And we have a long segment here, 610-632-0975. I almost gave the wrong number. Second or third time I've done it.
Get it off your chest,
610-632-0975. We have time to take a phone call or two in the first segment. Do we have the right quarterback, Sean?
Simple answer for me is yes. I'm a Jalen guy. I put that out 100 times yesterday because of me being critical of his performance in yesterday's or 2 days ago playoff game, the loss against the 49ers. People were raking me over the coals in the comments section, and I felt like I had to just come out and the first thing say, in quotes, I'm a Jalen guy. I do believe in his ability. I do believe that he is a dynamic player. I do believe in his leadership qualities. There are other things that make him the quarterback that I want for my team. Oh, by the way, the resume that you put out there. But you're not wrong. And more this year, it's really glaring. It's really making me question, John, because of what took place last year. Gee, why didn't the offense really work all that well this year? Okay, Petula, that's fine at 1. To me, 2 is the run game. All right. Well, the run game was epic last year. Are you telling me that the Eagles are going to get back to that level of run game? Because I don't think that's
Extremely unlikely.
Yes, I think that's extremely unlikely. There's going to be some holes to fill on that offensive line. So if you're telling me that that's the key to success for this quarterback to play at an elite level, yeah, it's up to Howie Roseman to improve the team in those categories. But, man, like, how about the quarterback making some plays? And that's what's really frustrating me. Long-winded, just bringing it back to that game on Sunday. The fact that I can't criticize, I was blown away of how many people were like, no, nobody was open. It finally, this morning, thank you, because I was thinking about him. Kurt Warner finally peeks out from the bushes and fires a tweet at Orlovsky. Wait a minute. The 7-8 plays that you just showed, there were guys open. It's impossible, people. It's impossible. As bad as Petula was, and the 2x2 sets that make us pull our hairs out, I understand. It's impossible not to have players open. Consistently every single down. There were plays to be made in that 49ers game, and Jalen failed to do so. He had happy feet. Don't take it from me. Take it from Kurt Warner and Tom Bleepin Brady, who was on the broadcast. But, yes, to answer your question, we do have the right quarterback.
There you go. 610-632-0975.
I believe in him.
So I just want to say this again, because people are going to hear what they want to hear. Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl MVP. He won the Super Bowl last year. He was fantastic in the game. He's going to be the quarterback next year and in the foreseeable future, maybe. But,
we know how that works.
we know how it works. We know how it works. The Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017 season, 2018. The head coach and the quarterback that won that Super Bowl, the quarterback that helped get them to that Super Bowl, were gone shortly thereafter. The Eagles are not a franchise that believe that the coach and the quarterback are the sole reasons they can win. This is an organizational type thing. And if he continues to go south, they will start to explore other options. They did it with Carson Wentz. They looked at Carson Wentz and they said, man, he's regressed. He's injured. His play has dipped. We got to make sure that we have some insurance against him.
That changed everything because that shocked me. He finally got the contract, Foles out, and then they draft Jalen, and I was like,
I thought it was the worst move ever.
Yeah, I was questioning it. I just said, well, there's obviously something going on that we don't know. That's always my answer that I go to, but, man.
But, Ray, isn't there enough that we've seen on the field? And, by the way, Sean says it, he's a racist. LaShawn McCoy says it in the comments on Instagram yesterday. I can't even look at Instagram comments anymore.
Wow.
I've went from not looking at mentions on Twitter. Now even I'll post pictures with my kids, and I'm an SOB.
Yeah,
in the comments.
It's tough.
But LaShawn McCoy essentially has said this. We know the comments that he said. He said that I never came out and said the offense is too complex for Jalen Hurts. He's the one that said that. He's the one that said that he talks to people, and that's what they said. I'm not saying that the offense is too complex for Jalen Hurts because that would be code for, hey, you're too dumb to know what the offense is. I'm not saying that. But being a passing quarterback, what set Jalen apart from everything else is that he was the dual-threat quarterback. He wasn't a dual threat this year. He just wasn't. And if it's coming down to just throwing the ball, we know where he struggles. Middle of the field. And that didn't change this year. It just didn't.
No, it did not.
This offense is the Jalen Hurts offense. It's not this is the offense that we run and Jalen needs to do it. They come in and they say, okay, this is the offense we're going to run to put Jalen in the best position. So when they hire an offensive coordinator this offseason, they're going to do the same thing. And I'm fine with that. But he needs to produce. He didn't produce enough this year. What are we talking about? Ray Dunn, what do you think about this?
The biggest thing for me going forward is the way I saw them empower a quarterback after the team went to a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl in Carson Wentz. And, they started to do things, and the big talking point was, well, when the coaching changed, it wasn't hard coaching on him. It was what Wentz wanted to do. It became kind of Wentz's country club of hey, yeah, whatever you want, whatever you think's best for you.
Don't question me.
Don't question it. It seems like they've done that again, where it is what you want to do, Jalen Hurts, we are going to do, and we are going to ignore anything else that we could possibly do offensively. They're not throwing the ball over the middle of the field. Why is that?
Because it's not a strength, and he doesn't want to do it.
He doesn't want to do it. They're not running the football with him. If they want to keep him healthy, that's fine. But they kept him healthy for what? One half of football and one half of offense in the playoffs? Like, there has to be an element of, Jalen, we know we are going to protect you, and we also want what's best for you. But sometimes what's best for you is uncomfortable because his numbers over the middle of the field aren't bad. They just don't do it. That's the biggest thing for me. That's what I keep coming back to is Jalen Hurts is the right guy. But ultimately, Jalen Hurts needs to realize that it's not about what you're most comfortable doing. It's about what's going to put this offense in the position to score the most points and win the most games. And I don't think those things right now gel with one another.
So he's the right guy that needs better coaching.
Yeah. And also needs to accept that coaching. Because I don't want to absolve him of this. I don't want to absolve him of hey, yeah, like he's been totally fine all season long, and this is just a coaching problem. I don't think it's just a coaching problem.
Does he like, because with Carson, it seemed like he's hard-headed. Don't tell me what to do. I know better than you do. I don't sense that with Jalen at all. And I've never heard that. I haven't.
No, I agree.
But also, when you hear, remember who was the reporter? Or there was multiple reports that came out. Or there was one report that came out that kind of threw Jalen under the bus that said, hey, listen, we're doing all this stuff in practice. He's just not doing it in the game. We practice all this stuff. He makes the throws in practice. This is what we're supposed to do in the games, and he doesn't do it. I don't think he's going into a game saying, I want to suck and miss receivers open over the middle. He's got some type of a mental block where either he's not seeing the field well, he's paying attention too much to the rush. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. But we've seen, this is years now, where he's just not, his strength isn't throwing the ball over the middle. It's not what he looks to do. It's not what he wants to do.
And since it feels like we're getting stuff off our chest, can I tell you one thing that's irking me a little bit more about the Jalen Hurts conversation? And it's like, I get it. He is the quarterback. Nick Sirianni is the head coach. Kevin Patullo is the offensive coordinator. But am I asking for too much? And then we know that the system is put in, is implemented for it to help him play to his strengths. That's what you do as a coach. Am I allowed to say, hey, Jalen, can you give some input here? Like, the final play of the game. There's all these people going, I'm reading lips. He didn't like what was being said. How is the quarterback not giving his take? How is he not speaking up going, hey, this is what we should be running right here. This is what I want. You want Philly? Yeah. No, and
just took the words out of my mouth.
Not in that regard.
But you remember Doug was going to call?
Correct.
It was like a wide receiver screen or something.
Okay.
He was going to call something, and then Nick Foles came over and said, how about Philly? And you saw Doug, the hamster was going in the head, and he's like, yeah, let's do it.
And it's going down in history.
Right.
I just want Jalen to have a little bit more of say in this, right? I'm done with the excuses, I guess, to a point. And that's what's really rubbing me the wrong way in this last 48 hours. It's like, oh, there's nobody open. This is Patullo's fault. And I get it. 70% on coaching. That was the reason why they lost on Sunday. No ifs, ands, buts about it. But the quarterback was a big piece.
All right, we'll take a phone call. And by the way, in that moment, man, sure, it would have been great if Jalen said, well, how about this? And they would have done it. But, I'm not going to kill him in the moment to be arguing with him about the play call.
Not even specific to the final play. How about just throughout the course of the game, John? How about the 3 quarters that they struggle every single game in the regular season?
Here's the reality. He's got to play better. I'm not even talking about Sunday. Just during the regular season, he's got to be a better quarterback. He hasn't evolved enough as a throwing quarterback. Is that fair? Can you put that on the YouTube chat? Yeah, let's even do a Twitter poll. Let's break our rule and do a Twitter poll. Has Jalen Hurts evolved enough as a throwing quarterback? You watch the Super Bowl and it's like, holy crap!
No.
What a great game.
Yep, I'm going to say no to that. That's an easy one for me, and it's frustrating because it feels like this offense was pretty stale, pretty stagnant. You knew what you were getting with A.J. Brown on the outside. Devontae Smith, you know what his strengths are. Dallas Guy, like the middle of the field, can we get a slot receiver? Can we get somebody that can own the middle of the field?
Well, if they throw it there, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be great.
But nobody was running routes in that area either to a point.
So here's my last thing, and then we'll take Josh and King of Prussia. He's got something to say about this. Every year, everybody always points out the different defensive coordinator, or offensive coordinator. Oh, it's a different play caller. It's true.
Hang the banner.
But what?
It's another year.
If they didn't win a Super Bowl, we would hang that banner. But every year you bring in these coordinators, and I think Steichen certainly had a lot more creativity, and he's a really good offensive coordinator. But Kellen Moore wasn't. You weren't watching Sean McVay's offense with Kellen Moore. You know, he was dialing up after the bye week. Hand off to Saquon. Hand off to Saquon. Hand off to Saquon. The offense is pretty boring, and you can say that they don't know what they're doing, or for a reason. They think this is what puts Jalen in the best position to win. If he's not the dual threat that we've seen him be, he's ordinary. Big spots, dude is always showing up. He didn't this year.
Yep.
And you know what? You want to put it all on Kevin Patullo? I don't think that's fair. You can put it on the play calling. It sucked. It was terrible. Let's go to Josh in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. Josh, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, fellas. How are you?
All right. Good morning.
I am, yes, I'm frustrated with how obviously everything went down, and Jalen did have a bad year, to be honest with you. But I think it's borderline comical to think about having to replace him, considering what we've seen him do in big games. So obviously there's a breakdown somewhere. Part of it is on player, part of it is on coaching. I could get why Jalen kept his mouth shut at the end of the game, because we all crucified him for when they went rogue a couple different times in his career. Granted, this would have been a time that, you know, I'm happy to try something. But, I mean, the man's got a Super Bowl ring, a Super Bowl MVP, and is one fumble away from doubling each of those up. And, you know, you look across the other side, Josh Allen's won 7 playoff games and hasn't even been to a Pro Bowl yet. So, like, everyone talks about, you know, quarterback and arm talent and things like that. Like, as a Philadelphia Eagles fan that was born in 1989 and didn't see my first ring till 2017, give me the guy that wins every day, day in and day out. And, yes, I know it didn't happen this year, but overall, he's got one of the best winning percentages of all time in the quarterback's first, 5 years or something like that.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Are the Eagles as successful as they've been because of Jalen Hurts or because of the organization? What's the bigger reason why they've won 2 Super Bowls? Because with Nick Foles, he flamed out, right? Like Doug Peterson, they got rid of, but they made it back to 2 Super Bowls after that. Like if Jalen Hurts goes to a crap organization, are we talking about the same thing?
No, that's a fair point. Probably not, but I do think you have to find the right mix, because, you know, when a guy like Lamar with all the right talent in the world fit in here, who flames out every playoff,
comes up small, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
So, I think it is 50. Not, I don't say 50-50. It's more on the org, but they found the right guy, as to the point where we all question when they picked him.
Oh, for sure. All right, Josh, really good stuff. Thank you. Lamar Jackson comes up small in big playoff games. Yep. I would love for Lamar to win a Super Bowl to end the conversation, but guess what? It continues to happen every year. Josh Allen's got to get to a Super Bowl.
Could be this year.
Justin Herbert. Oh, everybody loves Justin Herbert. Comes up small again in the playoffs, and I've been on this train forever.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert. Oh, look at the throws and look at the toughness and look at the run. You can't blame the head coach anymore like you did with Jonathan Gannon Sr. Who was that last defensive coordinator? Jonathan. Who was their?
What was his name? The Chargers.
The Chargers head coach.
He was a defensive guy, wasn't he, too?
He was the defensive coordinator for the Rams, and he got the job. Yeah. And he's like Jonathan Gannon. He's an idiot. He lost close games, and I don't know how I'm blanking on the name right there. That's Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah.
So, all right, you want to blame, all right, you didn't have a good head coach. You can't say that now. And they scored 3 freaking points, right? So Justin Herbert, screw Justin Herbert, screw Josh, screw all these other guys. Because Jalen Hurts has shown at big spots he ain't losing these games. It's fair. It's all fair to say. But does that mean that that's what he's going to do going forward?
Yeah. And again, you nailed it with talking about the organization, putting it together, right? Like, could you imagine some of these other big-time quarterbacks that are not mistaken, they're top 5 talents? Josh Allen with an Eagles operation. That's the big thing about the Buffalo Bills. Like,
loser franchise until Josh Allen came there.
Shakir had 12 receptions. That's the go-to guy for them. Good luck. Especially against the Broncos this week.
Like, look at the Bengals. Pathetic franchise. Joe Burrow comes in, they give him some talent, and they make a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow changed that organization. Now, you can't do it forever. LeBron went to the Cavs, loser organization, and they won titles. He left, they suck. Right? So, like, Jalen's coming into a really, really good spot. You go to the Jets, you think that, like, doesn't matter. You go to the Jets, you suck unless you're one of these quarterbacks that we're talking about here. I don't want to take anything away from Jalen because Josh is absolutely positively right. He almost is a 2-time MVP in the Super Bowl. Not like Donovan came up small in big games. All these quarterbacks that Lamar, all these quarterbacks that shine the dimmest in these games, that ain't Jalen. But I also watch the regular season, and I also see him throw the ball in a lot of these games.
1, Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley, yes.
2, the line would be, extremely long for teams that would be lined up for Jalen Hurts if he was available. You think the Colts wouldn't love to have Jalen Hurts?
Sure.
We could play that game all day. Jalen is a stud. I think Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback, but I'm just a little frustrated with all of the bailing out and just open your eyes, especially this year, averaging it up, and then, of course, the loss to the Niners.
So I just think it's a fair question to wonder, after this year, is he the right quarterback for the future, not next year, for the long-term future? Also, do we have the right head coach for the future? Colin Cowherd talked about how ordinary the head coach quarterback duo for the Eagles were yesterday. He had a great line on Nick Sirianni as well.
Yeah.
We'll play it for you coming up next. 610-632-0975. Middays with the Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Yeah.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Clean out the locker room. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Filed with the Eagles' 23-19 loss to the 49ers on Sunday. The Birds took to NovaCare on Monday for a final team meeting to clean out their lockers. Offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo's job was a topic of conversation when a number of players met with the media at their lockers, including Jalen Hurts, who was asked whether or not he thought Kevin Patullo should be back.
Do you want him to come back as the offensive coordinator?
It's too soon to think about that. And like I said, I put my trust in Howie, Nick, and Mr. Lurie.
We'll talk to Jeff Mosher coming up at 11 o'clock about everything going on with the Birds, including the future of Kevin Patullo and the future of a number of guys with this organization. 76ers smoked the Raptors last night, jumping out to an early lead, then cruised to a 115-102 win. Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid combined for 60 points in the win. The Flyers lost 5-1 last night to Tampa Bay Lightning, losing their third straight game. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Ray Down, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, best Birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
coaches and the best quarterbacks. And Philly has neither. They don't have either. Bottom line is, let's talk Niners. From the opening drive to the perfectly timed trick play to their ingenuity, one coach was ChatGPT and the other was crayons. That wasn't even close. And by the way, I don't want to hear about Sirianni. Boy, he's great in the locker room. He is great. Putting a fence around this team. He's barking at A.J. Brown again on the sidelines. Come on, you got to grow up at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, Colin Cowherd yesterday. By the way, he's right about everything that he said. Did the Eagles get out-coached on Sunday?
Yep.
Hard to argue.
Yep.
They sure did.
I'd just say that Chat GPT, it was good, especially in the fourth quarter, but, you know.
It's also incorrect a lot.
Yes, it is. No doubt about that.
I'll put in, give me 10 Flyers trivia questions that are moderate to difficult.
Yeah.
3 of them will be wrong.
No, yeah, you can't go ahead and read that. Somebody did that, and they got in trouble the other day. I saw that on social media.
Really?
Yeah, you can't take the word of Chat GPT.
There was one question. It's like Mark Recchi, and the answer was he got traded to the San Jose Sharks. So I'm like, hang on a second. Mark Recchi did not get traded from the Flyers to the San Jose Sharks. I know that much.
Yeah, you know that.
And I went and Googled. I'm like, that's so wrong. So then I looked at him and I actually gave it to Nate Tennyson, our associate producer. I'm like, Nate, can you cross-check these? There's like 3 of them wrong.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, so ChatGPT isn't always correct. And by the way, ingenuity and creativity and all that stuff, like sometimes like checkers is better than chess. The Seahawks this year aren't chess. They're checkers. Great defense, home field advantage, quarterback coach fight. Sam Darnold, I mean, is this how the Seahawks are winning? Sam Darnold's now this great quarterback? No. Their formula was the formula of the Eagles last year, which is our defense is great. We can run the ball. And like Jalen, I would say, makes more plays than Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah.
And that's easy to say. He's won the Super Bowl. But it's similar.
7.5-point favorites this weekend, too, Seahawks and Niners.
Saw that. Yep. Do we have the right head coach going forward? Again, just for people that might be tuning in.
Got to throw the caveat out.
Got to throw the caveat. With Nick Sirianni, I think people care about that less than with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's going to be back next year. He should be back next year. He deserves to be back next year. But is Nick Sirianni going forward, which means not only next year, but there's no thought about getting another coach. Is Nick Sirianni the right head coach for the Eagles going forward? Sean Brace.
See, I would have a little bit more. It immediately starts with me is who's the option? Who's the other guy out there? There's always somebody, no doubt, but you have to set yourself up for success when it comes to, in that category, finding that next coach. And Jeffrey Lurie, to his credit, was able to do that with Nick Sirianni. Do they have the right coach? I am not a Nick Sirianni guy. I think that they can go ahead and get somebody in here that would do just as well. There are plenty of pluses when you get into Nick Sirianni. There are plenty of course, minuses. The pluses we know when it comes to, of course, his leadership style. That speaks to the players, his resume. But when you get eliminated in the wild card round, doesn't that margin shrink just a little bit when it comes to talking about that trip to the Super Bowl and winning, talking about that other trip to the Super Bowl? I'm not the biggest Sirianni guy. I think that they can go ahead and get somebody else in here to be the CEO.
Yeah, or you know what? Hire a head coach that actually knows offense and can call plays too.
That too.
What's happened in 2023 and 2025? The offenses have fallen apart, and the head coach, it's like he doesn't even want to fix it. Any other coach with an offensive background would be like, they would already be there when there was problems, right? I don't know if the organization's telling him stay the hell out, or he's just, hey, I have my job. I'm good at my job. He's good at it's not that Nick Sirianni didn't get involved and try to help him out. Was he successful in helping him out in 2023? In 2025? It's a rhetorical question. It's clearly no.
The team looks prepared until it doesn't, right?
It's true.
And it's like, you have your moments where you want to stick up for the guy and have his back. And as I said, the resume is the resume. It speaks for itself. But I'm sorry, my eyes tell me something different. And then this whole season where it's pointing the finger at Patullo, and it's just like, what are you doing? What are you guys trying to do? What is your job, Nick? You're the offensive mind. People tell, it's Sirianni's offense. All right, well, show us.
That's not.
So I'm not doing a good
There
enough
is no
job.
offense. the Sirianni offense. No, Sirianni, when he went to Ross and he bought that suit off the rack and went to the interview because he didn't have a suit with him because that's the expectations of him getting head coaching interviews. So he had to go to Ross or off the Nordstrom rack or whatever.
Oh, that's a good one.
And he got a suit and he went and did the interview. Like he's never been known as an offensive mind. You're not bringing him in because you're bringing in his scheme. The Eagles were fine with bringing in the CEO head coach, and it's worked very well. He's been to 5 straight playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't want to be disrespectful to the guy because he's had a lot of success. There's no question about it. He does need to grow up. This sophomoric fraternity crap that we see way too much, I hate it. It's not professional. But you also can't argue with the results that he's been getting over the years, for sure.
Well, you asked a question about Jalen Hurts evolving as a passer this year. Has Nick Sirianni evolved?
Ray said this to me before the show. He said that, like, because the locker room to me does not appear fractured at all. This isn't AJ may be gone and AJ and Jalen seem to be fine or whatever, but to me, there's no issues with the locker room right now.
Did need to bring a positivity bunny in the middle of the season, but other than that,
it didn't work.
No,
but that's because they sucked. Like I don't think that the guys hate each other in the locker room at all. I don't think that that's the case. But like it works until it doesn't. Like you had said, and Ray said that this morning. Well, the whole rah-rah Sirianni approach works until it doesn't. And at what point does it stop working? At what point does the rest of the league say, all right, well, now you're going to actually have to do more than just run the ball and play great defense? And what are you doing, Nick? Hey, Ray, do we have the right head coach going forward?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so. My thing with the Eagles organization is they're going to go hire someone that's buying the suit off the rack at Ross anyways. Like, they are not going to go land. Like, when we did the whole Belichick thing 2 years ago, never felt like they were going to hand over the keys to a Belichick. I don't think they're going to hand over the keys to this big-time head coach. They like finding the coach and letting the organizational structure flow the way it has. They've got the top-down approach. They're not going to have this crazy, powerful head coach come in. They tried that once.
Blew up in their face,
yeah.
Yep.
And they're very scarred from it. They need that emotional intelligence.
But they also did that with Andy, and it worked.
But they basically picked Andy out of nowhere.
But you're right, but they also gave him the keys pretty quick. Because there was internal struggles. First, there was Tom Modrak, who was the GM, and then Andy fired him out of town. It didn't take long for him to take over, but he was the right guy to do it. Ultimately not winning a Super Bowl, but he was the right guy to do it. But I agree with you. The format is there for the Eagles. Mm-hmm. It's there. Everything's working from the top down. They don't want a guy that's going to come in and cause problems. They want a guy that's going to come in and fit with what they do, and Nick's done that very well.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Very well.
And they realize instead it's the inverse of Andy Reid. We're going to give Andy Reid all this power. What it is with Nick is we're going to have Nick do his role very well. And I can't believe I'm saying this. What is this? We're going to go into year 6 with Sirianni, and I'm still sitting here like, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but he does it well. So he's going to do it well. He's going to continue in that role, and he has no choice in who the new offensive coordinator is going to be.
Are we in a debate?
Time and time again.
But he looked helpless. The way he answered the question about what happened, he's like, I don't know. It's because he didn't know. Well, how was he going to answer it? He didn't know.
Yeah, this season should not have ended the way it did. No way. This team is too darn good. The names that fill out the roster are too darn good. Did they have flaws? Of course, but no way should have ended the way it did.
All right, coming up, right? What's the sound we have coming up next? Oh, the locker room from yesterday.
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Honest answer about Kevin Patullo, and I had no problem with it at all. At all. We'll play the locker room stuff from yesterday. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Fanatic's Andrew DiCecco.
Not just giving them away.
No, you can't. It's a hot ticket.
No, man.
Get excited.
Big win last night. They had 80 points in the first half.
Yeah, big bounce back spot. They ended up losing to the Raptors last time. Of course, on Sunday night.
Good win.
Yeah.
Good win. So we have Sixers tickets. We have Jeff Mosher coming up at 11 o'clock. After Moshe, we'll tell you how you're going to earn the tickets. All right? I'll give you a hint. You should be subscribing to the Fanatic on YouTube, and you should be watching the show on YouTube. Of course, we appreciate everybody that listens the old-fashioned way on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
On the app, on demand on YouTube, on the podcast. Listen, there's no excuse not to listen or watch the show, Sean.
You got a million different ways. They all work. Quickly, just real fast on last night, Maxey shout out 33 again, and pretty cool moment. Kyle Lowry going back to Toronto. Thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I set the sound. We have a 76ers. We're going to do a segment later.
Nice.
But it was really gave me some goosebumps.
I thought it was pretty darn cool. Yeah, it's cool
Yeah.
for Lowry too.
Yeah, he deserves it.
I think he said it was the best moment of like his basketball career. I think I saw that if I read it correctly.
Yeah, it was cool. It meant a lot to him.
Meant a lot to him.
And seeing his teammates, Joel and Maxey, really enjoying it. Really cool. Really cool.
I was not a fan of him doing the whole, on air as a host, TNT or NBC, whatever he was doing, and playing.
Yeah.
I did a Tuesday afternoon on that. I definitely was.
Well, it shows you how
amped up.
much they value him as a current player on the team.
Exactly that.
It's more of a coach on the bench. All right, so Sixers tickets will tell you how you're getting them after Mosher, and Mosher's coming up at 11 o'clock. He's reviewed the film. I mean, what can we say about the film?
I can't wait to hear his opinion.
But so this is where I think we can break out who should they hire as offensive coordinator? Because Moshe just doesn't look at the Eagles. He's looking all over the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
So he'll give us a good idea of what we could be looking at.
The number one name on top of the list for everybody.
Who?
Not McDaniels. McDaniel.
Yeah, we'll talk about it with Moshe. I'm not interested.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll talk about it with Moshe.
All right, well, maybe I'm interested. We're going to end up talking about it now if we keep talking about it.
I know.
Right.
Does he really fit Philadelphia? Are you kidding me?
No. And by the way, we talk about you need this offense to cater to Jalen. Is this really this motion? I mean, maybe it would actually help him. Here's one guy that I don't think fits, but if it too strong of a personality, Brian Daboll, who, as far as offensively, he's been Jalen's offensive coordinator. I think he's really good. He's worked with Josh Allen. He's also a maniac, right? And you're bringing him in with another maniac, and are they going to be able to coexist? And I feel like fans would be like, hire Daboll, F Sirianni. Is it a good fit with Sirianni, Brian Daboll?
That's a good point because that's going to come eventually. Now, would it happen with McDaniel? Maybe, maybe not. Most likely not, but Daboll, people...
Just show a picture of his pants when you...
Yeah, exactly. All hiked up to his knees, the capris. Yeah, but hey, look, as long as his offense is flashy and scores points, we don't care. But I'm sorry, their physical nature, it lacks. They struggle in cold weather. Was that an issue as far as head coaching is concerned? Personality, I don't know, but to me... that offensive style doesn't travel well. I could be mistaken, but when it gets into playoff time, more physical play, I think they struggle.
Great coaches also adapt to where they are and what they have. So he should get an interview. If he doesn't get a head coaching job, they should absolutely interview him.
Oh, he's a hot name.
I mean, it's very – if he doesn't get like you said, he gets a head coaching job, maybe.
I think he's got 3 or 4 teams that are interviewing for head coach. He's interviewing with the Detroit Lions for OC.
If Jonathan Gannon's getting head coaching interviews, of course.
You got to do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Got to kick the tires, as they say.
So anyway, we'll talk about offensive coordinators a little deeply later on in the show. Jalen Hurts, the locker room. It's clean-out locker room day, and Jalen was holding court. What do we have, Ray? Do we just have the Patullo question here?
Back to back. Asked Patullo, and then he was asked about AJ.
All right, go.
It's too soon to think about that. And like I said, I put my trust in Howie, Nick, and Mr. Louis.
What about AJ Brown? Would you like AJ?
AJ and I will talk. We're in a great place.
Last one.
Maybe y'all can talk to him and ask.
There you go. So let's start with AJ. Says we're in a great place. I don't think the AJ Brown stuff is because of Jalen Hurts. You ever I can talk about this in my personal life. When you're trying to make somebody happy, that's an unhappy person. You can try and try and try and try, and no matter what you do, you can't make an unhappy person happy. You can try, and maybe at moments you can do it, but if the person is unhappy in their life, then they're unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
AJ just seems unhappy to me here. And a lot of us thought it was Jalen Hurts and the relationship with Jalen Hurts. Maybe it's Nick Sirianni. Nick was just screaming at him on the sideline. AJ talked about not enjoying the Super Bowl win right after the Super Bowl win, right? I don't know how much he's living in the gray. I don't know how much of that stuff's going on. But I don't think if AJ doesn't come back, I don't think that it's because him and Jalen hate each other.
No, they have the history, of course, and the success that they've had on the field, right? Like, that's got to be top-notch for them. But it does feel like AJ probably would prefer a new environment. It's just, and again, I said this a number of times yesterday, it's like, think about the stuff we do know. How about the stuff that we don't know? And I don't know about this, too. But I feel like a lot of it was directed at Jalen throughout the course of the season. The system.
I think it's Jalen, the quarterback, and the offense.
Yes.
I think it's a combination of play calling, offense, Jalen's limitations as quarterback.
Yes.
Nick
All the above.
Sirianni being a meathead. Whatever it is, I like. And AJ's a guy. If you're not happy after a Super Bowl, are you going to be happy there?
That's how I view it as well. And I don't think he would be. And I'm, look, I know emotions were flaring up for us yesterday, and even so this week. And it's a question that we need to ask ourselves because we know how talented he is, and he will be extremely tough to replace. That production just doesn't fall off of trees. Doesn't happen like that.
No.
He's a beast.
The first part where he's asked the question about Patullo coming back. Absolutely, positively, no issue with that answer. He could have given an unconditional BS answer of, oh, Kevin's great and blah, 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 blah. Nobody would actually believe that. He didn't throw him under the bus. But he said he trusts, like, the elephant in the room is the offense isn't good enough. The offensive coordinator is not good enough.
Yeah.
He didn't throw him under the bus. I have no issue with how he answered it.
No, I have no issue either. But, like,
that's a but.
Yes, it's a but. It's exactly when it comes to the game plan. Well, that's Nick and KP. That's a question for Nick and KP. And I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but exactly with the struggles in the second half of the games throughout the course of the regular season. And it felt like Jalen's answer was always that. Well, they're the coaches, and I understand that. But he is the Super Bowl MVP quarterback. Am I wrong to expect him to add a little bit more to the conversation?
Remember after the Rams game, Ray, where he's being interviewed on the field, and he says that we got to stop playing to lose, we got to play to win.
Yes.
And it felt like where he was sending a message being like, enough with this conservative crap where we're going to take a lead and we're just going to run the ball into the line and try to get a tush push and get a first down. We need to do more. And I appreciated that because he was right. I don't know, like, he's a quarterback. He should have influence on the offense.
Yes.
He should have a voice.
The great ones do.
I don't know the inner dynamics, but to your point, how about taking some more responsibility and maybe he does that going forward? But I mean, it's a good point by you, Sean. What do you think about that, Ray?
What, about his comment? I'm
Yeah.
fine with it. I don't think he wants to. I think his way of just trying to step away from this whole thing, like he thinks if I don't say anything about his job, this is better for me, which is not how this works at all. But he didn't want to walk into I love KP. KP's the guy, the whole thing, because then it becomes, oh, well, KP's Jalen Hurts guy. How can we watch what happens there? Like, I think he just wants no part of what's happening behind the scenes because he sees the writing on the wall. He knows what's going to happen. And if he were to say, KP's my guy, I think we need continuity on this offense, you know what we're talking about? Oh, Jalen Hurts is complaining about continuity on the offense. Jalen Hurts must think that this is a mistake. Like, I think he's just like, just don't involve me in your politics here in the office, man.
Right.
The offense sucked. I had a rough year of it. Just get me home. Get me out of here.
I agree with you. I mean, he could have answered and said, KP's my guy. We go to battle with him all the time. This is a really tough business. And the reality is that players lose their jobs and coaches lose their jobs all the time. But I love KP. He's in a no-win situation.
Right.
If he answers it that he's this guy and he shouldn't be fired, everybody knows that he's full of crap.
Yeah.
And whatever else.
I do agree with you on that. I would just say they don't have all the time in the world to evaluate the situation. Coaches are being hired. They're being hired now.
Yeah, I'm sure they're discussing right now what they're going to do.
To that point, also real quick about the Hurts answer. You could tell his guardrails are up by when they asked about AJ. He goes, great. Like, he's like, anything that I say right here is going to be
He was
taken
smart.
and used. Yeah, he's good, great. It's the best. He's just trying to give you everything's fine. Don't come talking to me. I want to go disappear for a little while.
Yeah, that was a good answer. All right, coming up, Jeff Mosher, his thoughts We'll wrap up the game, and also offensive coordinator looking around the league. What does he think would be a good fit? And we asked the question about Jalen Hurts. Has he regressed as a quarterback? We'll ask Jeff Mosher coming up next. And then we tell you how to win the 76ers tickets. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Leading out the locker room, I'm Ray Dunn. This Fanatic Sports Update is brought to you by Corona. This Friday, Andrew Salciunas and Corona take over Nick's Bar and Grill on 2nd Street from 6 to 8 for a 97.5 The Fanatic Sixers pregame party. Enjoy $5 Coronas, $6 Modelo's, and win Sixers tickets. Must be 21. Following the Eagles' 23-19 loss to the 49ers on Sunday, the Birds took to Novacare on Monday for a final team meeting to clean out their lockers. Offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo's future was a real topic of conversation in the locker room when players met with the media. Here's Jordan Mailata talking about Patullo.
The blame can be pointed at many places, not just one, myself included. We're out there, we're the ones that have to execute. We weren't doing that this year, we weren't executing at a high rate, and that's why I think it's easy for me to say you can't just put all the blame on KP.
We'll ask Jeff Mosher about the blame game coming up next as he joins us to talk about the Birds. 76ers smoked the Raptors last night, jumped out early in the win over Toronto. Maxey and Embiid combined for 60 points. Flyers lost 5-1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning last night, losing their third straight game. This update's brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes, better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers Flyers. Best Birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philadelphia.
With Marks.
I used to know this whole song. I was about to spit. I was about to lay some bars down for the people.
Name of the song?
Miss Fat Booty. You stumped me on that one, man. That was good.
I just wanted you to say it.
Yeah. Good. Throwback there. Black
Something
on both
so fat
sides.
You can see it from the front.
Yes. Spot me like paparazzi. Shot me a glance at the fat woman's dance. Hot damn. What's your name, love? All right, sorry about that. Getting a little carried away.
Most stuff.
Yes.
Well, we have a situation in the situation room. Eagles offense stinks. And what did Jeff Mosher see in the game, and who does he think should be the next offensive coordinator? And that has Jalen Hurts regressed as a quarterback, as a passer? All of those questions hopefully will be answered by our next guest, Jeff Mosher, Philly voice, and, of course, Inside the Birds, best in the business. What's up, Moshe? How are you?
What's up, fellas? We have another situation that just developed. All
What?
right? My fantasy baseball team's name is Mr. Fat Booty.
Yeah.
No way.
One of my favorite songs ever.
Hold on a second.
I'm like one of the biggest, most deaf fans.
Yes.
I've always been. He's like a top 5 for me.
He
Most
was
deaf.
so talented. Like
What a great vibe to him, yeah.
actor, all of that, man.
True
Just-
lyricist.
Yep.
Everything. Great lyricist, brilliant mind. Always enjoy listening.
Wow, what are the odds of that?
How about that?
You're on a sports radio show. We're playing that song, and then you come on, and that's your fantasy baseball team. Wow, it was meant to be, Jeff.
Yeah, it's got to be. So what's going on? What do we want to talk about? The great moment last night in Toronto, Kyle Lowry.
Let's
Crowd calling his name. Beautiful. I had chills.
I did too. I got goosebumps. That's later in the show.
Yeah.
All right, but
Okay.
all right. So let's wrap up the game. None of us should be surprised. It's the offense we saw all year. But like, what happened in the second half? What happened on that last drive? Because that's what everybody's talking about. What happened on that last drive after they get to the 20?
Man, what happened on that last drive is what's happened all year.
Yeah.
Like you said, you got a negative or a neutral play, so immediately you're either behind the sticks or not on schedule. You're not in a favorable down and distance, and then you got to wind up throwing the ball. You haven't really thrown the ball well all year long. Then you get backed up and go. Now, it's an interesting conversation, right? With the timeouts and the time left, should they kick the field goal? I don't have any issue with them going for it there on the 4th down. I think that it was then or never, and it was just going to be never. But, you have to run vertical routes on 4th 11. I don't, per se, have an issue with calling 4 verts, but maybe it would have been nicer to have a little, just some conflict. But like Kendricks, I think, is the one who broke up that pass, right? I mean, there were a couple of guys in the area, but it didn't seem like the route designs put any defenders in a whole lot of conflict, and that doesn't help the quarterback out either. And like you said, some of this stuff is just vintage 2025 Eagles offense.
Would you agree that Jalen Hurts, and I know there's the Super Bowl and there's a lot of other examples that show, well, hey, Jalen can actually throw the ball. But overall, when you're talking about the full body of work, have you seen enough development with Jalen as a passer?
Mm-hmm. So I think there's certainly, the tape shows that Jalen Hurts has made more types of throws this year that we haven't seen in the past, using the middle of the field between the numbers throws, and some really impressive ones. And he's been able to go under center, not something they've done before, and work some play action and make some really nice throws from there. So there's evidence that he has improved as a passer and has made more of these kind of throws in games than in the past. But if you're asking to then get into the question of whether or not this is a quarterback that you want now dropping back, say as often as 35, like what you'll see from a Matthew Stafford type of game plan, that is, I think, where there's an incomplete answer. Because the tape still shows that the offense goes through funks, and there are times where Jalen Hurts does not pull the trigger on guys that are open, or he's late on maybe crossing routes instead of the middle field is outside the numbers. So you can understand the complexity for the coaching staff to wonder just how much they can open the offense based on some limited example or a lower, I guess, resume of or limited resume of what they saw Jalen Hurts be able to do this year.
Jeff, so when we talk about last year, and of course the Super Bowl championship that came of it, you look at how strong that offense was, and what it was led by, of course, was the run game and how dominant it was up front. And Jalen was a big part of that. We understand what he was able to do with the tush push and how many first downs he picked up with his legs. And it seemed like, and the numbers back it up this year, that they kind of fell off of that path, and of course the struggles with the run game as a whole. Now I want to hit the fast forward button, and I know the season just ended, but to next year and the years following as far as Jalen Hurts, I don't think that the Eagles are ever going to reach that top tier of run game that they had last year. It was elite. It was one of the best in NFL history. Trust your own eyes. So if that's not going to happen, should we feel as Eagles fans that Jalen Hurts is going to be a top-tier quarterback for years to come? And if not, is it fair to start having a conversation? I know people don't want to hear it, but is it fair to have that conversation that maybe the Eagles might start looking at the path like they handled Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts?
Whoa, I feel like Rodney Dangerfield there in Back to School where he has to answer that last question.
Oh.
And he just says 4? There's a lot of layers to that one. Let's all right. The Eagles, no matter who's the play caller, who's the coach, offensive, under Nick Sirianni, they have always wanted to play a certain way. And as you're mentioning, it's running the ball. They'll be heavy 12 personnel, more so than the rest of the league, 2 tight ends. They want to run the ball, and they want to have a strong, balanced offense, and they don't want to turn the ball over. If you're asking, do I think they need to run it at historic levels like they did last year to win the Super Bowl? I don't think that they need that. I mean, they didn't. They had a very good run game the year they lost to Kansas City in the Super Bowl, right? And that was Miles Sanders. So I think there's an in-between there. Sean, I think they don't have to be historically amazing, but for them to do what they want to do, if they're going to continue to run their offense the way they do, which I believe they will need to, get healthier on the offensive line. And that might mean, really looking at your left guard and center and saying, do we have to have some reinforcements? Do we have to draft high there and just get back to that level? And then just having a run game that is moving the chains, overpowering at times, gives you explosives. That's what they want. They want a run game that can give them explosives because Nick Sirianni, like most coaches, and even Jeffrey Lurie as an owner, they value explosive plays. You win the explosive plays, you win the turnover ratio, and you'll probably win 75% of your games. So my answer is that it doesn't have to be like last year, but it's got to be a darn, kind of like the Ravens would tell you, right? It's got to be a darn good running game to complement what they want to do in the pass game.
Yep. Talking to Jeff Mosher, Inside the Birds, Philly voice. Do you have? So we're going to assume that Kevin Patullo is not going to be the offensive coordinator last year because we don't have a reason to believe that he's coming back based on reporting and common sense and things like that. If that is the case, do you have a favorite on who you would like to see come in here and would work well with what the Eagles want to do and Jalen Hurts and how they want to run their offense?
There are certainly some interesting names out there. This is kind of a good year to need an offensive coordinator. Now, it's also tough because there are so many head coaching openings right now, and a lot of head coaches. The toughest thing for a new head coach to do, whether he's been one before or whatever, is sit in a chair and tell an owner and a president or a GM, here's what my coaching staff is going to look like. Because a lot of times, I've heard this plenty of times, these guys are stupid. They'll look at your list and be like, you're not getting these guys, right? So, but there happens to be a lot of head coaching vacancies, so therefore there's a lot of coordinator vacancies right now. And what you'll see is guys who are interviewing for head jobs and coordinators are kind of talking to each other. Hey, if I get this head coaching job, you can come be my OC. And they're actually available, so that helps. So while there's a big pool, things happen pretty quickly. But Todd Monken, to me, to answer your question, is a guy who I think could really come into the Eagles organization and be a good offensive mind, knowing that whoever the Eagles hire is going to have to run some variation of the Eagles offense. They may have some concepts they want to implement and think they can implement, but they've got to keep the identity. Now, Monken, who, of course, was at Georgia a couple of years ago, which is Howie's favorite, plucking ground for talent. He was the OC there. They win a natty. He coached for the Ravens last 3 years. Lamar Jackson, check, right? MVP, then second last year in MVP. This year, injury plagued, bad luck. He has publicly taken some responsibility for it. But if you look at the picture as a whole, this is a guy who liked to throw the ball around with 11 personnel, but then adapted to the way the Ravens do things and played a lot of 12 personnel, 2 and 3 tight end formations, ran the ball with Derrick Henry, and then still worked an effective passing game with athletic quarterback like Lamar Jackson. So I think that criteria alone, the adaptability, the ability to orchestrate a run heavy offense, have an athletic QB, get the most out of him with some pretty good passing design and pass concepts, to me makes him a really ideal candidate if he were to want to come to the Eagles. And I think that's a question you have to also ask people.
Right.
I think it's a great job and a great opening, but you definitely have to come here knowing that your offense may have to bow a little bit to Nick Sirianni's offense.
Right. Couple quick hitters. I'll give you some names. If McDaniel doesn't get a head coaching job, does he fit in Philly?
I don't see that's one where I just think he's a brilliant mind, but I don't see the fit. I mean, the McVay tree is full of guys who want to, A, be under center 60% of the time, if not more, use a fullback a whole lot, 21, 22 personnel. It's not stuff the Eagles typically do. I mean, these guys do like to run the ball, so that helps, but they're more traditional in their West Coast offensive concepts, which are built off going under center and play action. And again, that's something the Eagles just started doing a little bit this year. So that's a radical change from how they've been. And it's also a very timing and anticipation throw type offense. And that's not always, using the middle of the field on those kind of throws is not Hurts' strong point, or at least we have not seen that consistently.
Daboll he was his OC before at Alabama. He's also a very strong personality, which I don't know if it mixes well with Nick Sirianni. Daboll is an offensive coordinator.
Oh, they coached together, right? They were in Kansas City together when Nick Sirianni was a wide receivers coach there, and Daboll was OC. I forget who the head coach at the time. Todd Haley? It's escaping me.
Haley,
but they did coach together, and Daboll was with Hurts in Alabama for a year as the offensive coordinator, but unfortunately that was the year where Hurts got benched in the Natty. So I don't know how that's gonna if that's just bygones or in the past or it's not. Obviously it was Nick Saban's decision. So I don't know how Hurts feels about it, but I do think just from an offensive play calling perspective and what he likes to do, Daboll, I think that there's some really good fits there for how he likes to run his offense and what the Eagles do.
Jeff, great stuff, man. We appreciate
it. That's a guy, though, that I think. Sorry, real quick. That's a guy I think that might be linking up with some other guys and say, hey, if you're a head coach, I can be your OC, or if I get another head coaching job, I'll take you as my OC. So it'll be interesting there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think the fit's there, but Monken makes a lot of sense for a lot of the boxes that you checked, and you don't have to worry about him leaving to be a head coach as well. He seems like he's going to be an offensive coordinator no matter where he goes.
We just put out a story on Philly Voice. I detailed about 12 to 15 guys who would be interesting names if anybody wants to check it out.
Oh, check it out. Excellent. Jeff, thanks, buddy. We'll talk soon.
Good man, Jeff.
All right, fellas. Take care.
All right, man. There he is. Mr. Fat Booty.
There you
Jeff
go.
Motion.
Yeah, I was wondering if that team had success. I don't do fantasy baseball. It's too long of a season.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, it's too long.
I can barely do fantasy football anymore. Although I did win.
Oh! You won the what?
$1,600.
Get out.
Oh.
Nice work by you.
I mean, I won.
Hell yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I won.
It's just interesting when you start talking about the question I asked with Jalen Hurts, and he's right. Like, they don't need to be elite of elite because they've had success previously. But then the question comes back to, is Jalen Hurts going to continue to take that next step up? And I feel like the naysayers are starting to creep into my mind just a little bit more because I was so supportive. I've been, Jalen number one all the way through his career with the Eagles. But now, with throwing the football, with the fact that, nobody's open, can't do anything. No, nobody's open. Got to roll outside, got to throw it into the stands.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
So it's like, all right. And I don't think it's unfair to question or to ask that question of, will the Eagles look at this, maybe not this year, but maybe next year if they don't make a Super Bowl run and say, it's time to draft somebody. It's time to get somebody else. I don't know.
Well, the Eagles are never a year late.
Correct.
Right? On anything. They're smart. But so he brings up McDaniel. McDaniel's a guy you bring in because you want his offense. That's not what this is here. You're bringing in a play caller that is good at calling plays and is willing to adapt what he does to what the Eagles do. Daboll doesn't feel like a good fit. It's almost like he's too big for this job. Does that make sense? He's going to be a head coach again in college or the pros. He wants to go to a team that is a defensive head coach, and then he's like, the offense is his. Like, I'm not going to, like, you do what you do on offense. I'm the defense. Like, you know what I mean? Daboll's coming in. Sirianni's the head coach. You got to run the offense that best suits Jalen. I don't know if that's a good fit. Munkin makes a lot of success. He came in. He adapted his offense to Lamar. They weren't very good this year. Lamar was injured for a lot of this year. Outside of the playoffs, they were great the 2 years before that. He was great. They won national championships at Georgia with him being the OC.
Oh, yeah. No, it's been interesting to see how that's been all working out with Baltimore. But, it felt like maybe he was in the get caught up with the whole John Harbaugh need to refresh, and that's why they ended up making a move down there. We'll see who they hire. But there's 8 vacancies, correct? And I know that Dable wouldn't go back, although you never know with the Giants. I don't think he would be rehired. So it's
I don't think he gets a head coaching job.
No? Okay.
No, not this year. No, he goes somewhere for a year, and that offense looks good, and they're a good team. That's when he gets in that next head coaching job. He had enough success in the Giants to where I would give him a look if I needed a head coach.
Definitely.
You're not going to be there for 10 years or 12 years, but he could come in and he did well developing Josh Allen.
Yeah.
If I had a team that had a young quarterback, although he's a maniac, Daboll's a maniac, I could see him coming
Actually, one with Daniel Jones. Quickly on this, Pittsburgh Steelers, is that going to be an opening?
For Steeler fans and Tomlin and Mike Tomlin, I hope so. It's time for a change. Because you know what's going to happen, Sean?
They don't have a quarterback.
They're going to come back with another quarterback,
Yes.
and they're going to win 9 games, and they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs, and Steeler fans are going to be mad. There's got to be fatigue on all sides.
Change the banner. Another year. Well, that'd be 20. That's pretty impressive.
All right, so we have 76ers tickets. All right? And it is to the, I hope you have it on the sheet here, Raymond. It is to
The Cavs?
He does not have
Oh,
it
sorry.
It
on the sheet.
was handed, but I'm.
It's all right. I can.
They do have the Cavs coming up next.
No, I think it's the Pacers game coming up next
Ooh.
Monday.
All right.
It is the Pacers game next Monday.
Get excited.
Listen. You still have the Football Monday sponsor on this sheet. Come on, Ray.
Then you're
Let's
Really?
go.
Football Monday on this.
Let's go, Ray.
Come on, Ray.
Get your
There's
head
a
in the
half piece
game.
of paper that was given to you with the ticket giveaway.
Come
it was
on,
not
Ray.
on the initial sheet.
All right, whatever. So it's the. Let me look it up. All right, so we have a pair of tickets to the Sixers against the Pacers next Monday, January 19th, Xfinity Mobile Arena. You can get your single game tickets, Sixers.com. Place is going to be jamming. That was a great win last night. And as long as I don't open my mouth about the team, which I'm not going to, they're going to be fine. They're going to win games. I don't even want to. I'm not pronouncing wins or anything like that. Shut up, Mark. Shut up. So we have these tickets, and you hear us all the time talk about watching on YouTube, whether it's on demand or watching live.
Hello, YouTube.
So for all the people watching live on YouTube, maybe you haven't watched live on YouTube before, here's a good reason to do it, okay? So here's what we're asking you to do. We want you to take a picture of how you watch us on YouTube, and that would include your computer monitor. I have a lot of people that send me messages. They're watching it up on the TV because they have the smart, like almost everybody has a smart TV where you can watch YouTube up on your TV, right? Post a picture of the Middays with Mark show from today with Sean and Ray on your Instagram story. I don't want to get too convoluted. I don't want to make this too difficult. All right? So post a picture of the show on the Instagram story. You need to tag 97.5 The Fanatic. It'd be nice if you tagged at John Marks Media, at Sean_Brace, at Ray Dunn 975.
More tags, the better.
But take a picture of the show on YouTube and post it to your Instagram story. All right? And then from everybody that does it, we're going to then select based on what we think is the best thing. So if you want to get creative, I don't know what we're looking for, Ray, but we'll know it when we see it.
Right.
Like I have who was it? Mark that sent me a picture. He owns some type of like a cafe, and he takes a picture and he sends it. He's like, we're busy this morning. And he takes a picture of up on the TV that's in his cafe of Middays with Marks, which is really awesome.
I just took a pretty good picture.
You did?
I took a picture of me from the 97.5 The Fanatic studio. Can I win these tickets?
Is he eligible, Ray?
I'm an employee. Yeah.
I would say no.
You're
Yeah,
actually an employee.
Yeah,
now.
I'm actually an employee. Yeah.
But that's exactly what you do. If you take a picture of just the computer screen, I'm telling you, you're probably not going to win.
That's it.
Take a picture of the show on YouTube. Subscribe to the Fanatic on YouTube. Post it to your Instagram story with the proper tags.
Tag us all.
We're trying to get you to promote the show so your friends and your family that see it up there on there are saying, like, hang on, what? Johnny Marks and Sean Brace are back on the Fanatic?
That's right.
Ray Dunn's on the Fanatic? How
Still
about
here.
that? Yeah. How about that?
I'm never going to be able to use Instagram again. Ever.
Well, you just can't look at your.
Ugh.
No, seriously, I never look at like when.
That's why hot takers can do this, because they don't look.
I was told by many people, BS, you look at your mentions. And I'm like, no, I don't look at my mentions because I know what are in the mentions and I just want to fight people when I look at my mentions. So now I can't look at Instagram either because they put the videos out every day.
And they do a great job.
Yeah, they do. The videos are good, but I know what comes with those videos. People get angry.
Dutz has me doing some serious numbers yesterday.
It was a great video.
And then next thing you know.
And you're a racist.
Yeah. So my wife was like, what did you say? I show her the video. And she's like,
you didn't say anything.
Wow. Like, no. All I did was say he played poorly.
I put a picture up of me and my beautiful daughters, and we're smiling and whatever, and it's like, Marks, you MFer. It's like, hang on, what does that have to do with my kids? Go to the video and call me an MFer.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. All right, coming up. Oh, yeah, fresh Matt Gelb story on Bo Bichette. Are they the favorites? We'll tell you about that. And a national baseball voice for the Phillies. They call Phillies the favorite. And also JT Realmuto. Does he have a market? Somebody says he doesn't know anybody that even has an offer for JT Realmuto. Fresh Phillies segment. Bo Bichette coming up next. Middays with Marks. 97.5 The Fanatic. Do I have Morgenstern hair? All right. Well, look at my hair. We tell everybody to watch on YouTube. Man, listen, not bad. The hair's looking good. I'm not looking bad today, and that's because Morgenstern Hair Restoration. 610-831-HAIR. 610-831-HAIR. I saw Thomas Drayton of Fox 29, the good people at Morgenstern Hair, on their Instagram, put up a picture of Thomas getting some hair restoration over there. And we're not talking, so I had a hair transplant, but it's not just all about hair transplants. There's a lot of non-invasive ways to keep your hair, to get your hair back, which I've had done as well. I mean, it's talked about maintenance. So maybe you're like, hey, I'm starting to lose my hair. I don't like where it's going. That's more the reason to get a hold of Morgenstern Hair. Backed by a team with over 30 years of experience. The same team that has done everything for me. The hair team, man, I've known them over a decade. Going on 15 years. New year, new hairline. You can get your hair back, and it's not the crap you're seeing on Instagram or on Facebook or these social media commercials where all of a sudden somebody sprays something into their hair and they have a big afro. It doesn't work like that. These are results that you can see. This is experience that you can trust. Again, Morgenstern Hair Restoration, morgensternhair.com. That's Morgenstern with an E. Morgan with an E, sternhair.com. Or again, 610-831-HAIR. And if you're thinking about getting a hair transplant, $500 off right now for new patients in the new year. 610-831-HAIR or morgensternhair.com.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Cleaning out the locker room, I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Following the Eagles' 23-19 loss to the 49ers on Sunday, the Birds took to NovaCare on Monday for a final team meeting to clean out their lockers. Offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo's future was a topic of conversation when the media met with a number of players at their locker, including Jalen Hurts.
Do you want him to come back as the offensive coordinator?
It's too soon to think about that. And like I said, I put my trust in Howie, Nick, and Mr. Lurie.
We just spoke to Jeff Mosher about the future of Patullo, and really the future of who will be the offensive coordinator coming up for the Birds. You can listen to that conversation one more time on the Fanatic app or our website. 76ers spoke the Raptors last night, jumping out to an early lead in a 115-102 win. Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid combined for 60 points in the victory. Flyers lost 5-1 at the Tampa Bay Lightning last night, losing their third straight game. This update is brought to you by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, Best Birds Talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
again, if you want to win those 76ers tickets, what you do is you take a picture of you watching the show on YouTube, and then you IG us, Instagram story us. Just like if you forget to tag one of us or whatever, I don't care. Make sure you're tagging the Fanatic though. 97.5 the Fanatic, and let us know how you're watching it. The one that we find, whatever reason, the best wins the tickets. Easy enough, Sean?
Oh, extremely easy right there. Sixers, Pacers, can't beat it. Oh, by the way, when you go to a game, you can hear us. You hear the Fanatic inside the team store.
You do?
Yes. Wow. Commercials, plugging Middays with Marks.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so Bo Bichette and the Phillies met yesterday on Zoom. Right? Were you looking for updates as the day went on? I was like glued to my Twitter feed looking for anybody to give us an update.
I didn't think anything was going to happen immediate, so no, not really.
I know, but normally I'll say content creators, but yeah, like people are waiting for, even if they're get a little morsel to put out there because they got to tweet something.
It went well.
Right. So
everyone was able to log in. Nobody's mic was muted.
That's what I wanted. The details I wanted to know.
They had their hand up every time someone wanted to speak.
Did someone have their pants off by accident?
Yeah. Everyone's camera was on when it was intended to be on.
Correct. Are most likely to have their microphone muted during the conversation and getting the
Definitely Dombrowski.
I got Thompson. I got Thompson on that one.
Remember the one time the guy went in front of the judge? He was a lawyer and he was a cat. It's like, sorry, Judge, I can't turn it off.
Oh, God. All right, so here's Matt Gelb. When the Phillies want a star player in a competitive market, they typically wield years as their separator. It's one reason why rival clubs are beginning to see them as Bo Bichette's most serious suitor. And I know I think it was John Heyman that had said the Zoom call went well. Right? So it went well.
Yeah.
And also said that he likes the proximity where he lives in Florida to where the Phillies are in spring training.
Big deal.
He likes the organization. He likes the fans. Pretty much what I read out of that was, hey, if you pay me the most money, I would love to come to Philadelphia.
Ding, ding, ding. First-class organization. Now write the check.
All right, exactly. All those things are great if you pay me more money than everybody else. All right. So what Gelb's getting at is that the Phillies have been willing to, and we saw this with Trey Turner, we saw this with Bryce Harper. They're willing to pay the money, but they have to squeeze it to be able to fit into where they're not paying so much money in luxury tax, right? Mm-hmm. The Dodgers don't care. They'll just pay anybody, and they pay hundreds of $1 millions in luxury tax. So the Phillies with Trey Turner, the Phillies with Bryce Harper, 13 years, 11 years, Aaron Nola, 10 years. So the Phillies, are they willing to go instead of maybe 7 years with Bo Bichette at $30 million or $25 million, $30 million a year? Would they go 11 years for $25 million a year or something like that? But the article discusses the Phillies emerging as the top suitor for Bo Bichette because they're willing to leverage longer contracts, unlike the Dodgers, who want shorter deals with more money, or the Red Sox or the Yankees. They don't do that. The Dodgers aren't. They defer money, but they're not doing 12, 14-year contracts. So a lot of people around Major League Baseball feel like this could get done with the Phillies because they're willing to give 12, 13-year contracts, right?
This is the difference between them and the Red Sox right now. Because after Bregman signs, immediately everyone's turn is to, okay, is Bichette going to become the Red Sox primary pursuit? Because
now they're desperate to get.
Yeah, they need someone in that lineup. If they go into this season with that lineup, so help all of them up there in Boston with the way that's going to be received. So Bichette becomes very, very attractive to them. But they are not one that's going to go probably above 5 years. That's not something that they've done. It's not a benchmark. Gelb mentions in the story, it's not a benchmark they've done very often without an opt-out. So that becomes a difference maker. If the Phillies go that 6, 7, God help us, 8 years.
6, 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, but 8's already been discussed. I think you got to go 10.
Wow.
Oh.
I mean, 8 is like you said, it's all about the negotiation and how you
Right.
can get it done. But if we're talking about $300 million to do that in 8 years, you're still talking about
I know.
significant. You're still talking about 35, close to 35 a year.
All of it's terrifying numbers. All of it's a lot of money. But like, if the Red Sox are only going to 5, it seems like, all right, cool, man. Thanks for meeting with me. I got Philadelphia. The Phillies sit in a position of power if they're the only ones going to do that, which is why they've been able to cash in on getting a Harper and getting a Turner.
So on the Red Sox, and I think A.J. Brzezinski had said this, with the Red Sox and Bregman came back to him and said, listen, I have a better offer out there. I'm not going to tell you what that offer is, but if you want me, you have to increase your offer. And the offer was still less than what he was getting, but they were a real pain in the ass about it.
Yeah.
Like their negotiation style was like, no, that's our offer. And he's like, well, then you should so he pretty much said, your offer's not good enough. Like, I'm not telling you what it is, but give me your best offer. And they lost out. And that's how he went to the Cubs.
And they rubbed them the wrong way through the whole process.
The whole
correct.
negotiation process.
Yeah.
So now, are they willing to because they'd be stupid to totally, now they're just going to give, back up the Brinks truck because they lost out on Bregman? Maybe.
Yeah, it does seem like that would be a move that they would do. I'll tell you where I'm a little concerned, and it just is the fact of the Major League Baseball situation over the years. When the Dodgers are involved, they get their guy. If the Dodgers are knocking on that door, teams, players, they all answer, or agents and players, they answer. And Gell brings up the Dodgers name here. Of course, he gives the upper advantage or the advantage to the Phillies here, no doubt. But I'm starting to look at the depth chart now for the Dodgers and starting to, okay, is this going to be possible? They got Muncy at third. He just signed a 1-year deal last year. They have Kim, who was a stud at the KBO, who's going to be playing second. They got, of course, Mookie Betts at short. I don't know.
They can't sign everybody.
That's what they do, though. They do. Who haven't they signed?
And I'm not even a whiner about the Dodgers sign everybody because the Phillies spend a lot of money too. But they can't sign everybody.
I am a whiner. And they got an unbelievable rotation. They're getting every single player. It's like, come on, just give us a little scrap, all right? Give us a little bow scrap.
All right. And also, JT Realmuto and his market. Now, there's not enough time to get into it right now because this is meaty. And it's something, Ray, I'm not going to tell you we've been on top of this and ahead of everybody in this conversation. We've been, though.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we really have. JT Realmuto, because now it's like, okay, well, would they pivot back to JT? Or has JT really screwed himself? We'll talk about that. Also, hold music. I have a story with hold music, and I dig hold music that's out there. And I have a story that happened to me last night with hold music. All right? But JT Realmuto, has he totally screwed himself? And what about Bo Bichette? Do you believe this is actually going to happen? I believe this is actually going to happen. It comes to, I'd love to play for you guys. Now give me the money that I want. And I think the Phillies are going to be willing to do it. We'll discuss it coming up next. 610-632-0975. If you want to give your opinion, it's Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kincade.
Realmuto back for 1 year, and I don't think Realmuto has a lot of options. You know, I know it's tough to take pay cuts. I totally get that part, but at some point, whatever the market is what it is. I have not heard of a single team that is in on Realmuto right now. So I just kind of feel like at some point, if he wants to keep playing, which he doesn't have to at 35 years old, but if he wants to keep playing, I think he probably needs to do this deal with the Phillies.
Wow. Jim Bowden on NFL Network Radio. He's talking about a 1-year MLB what? It's easy to say, right?
MLB Network Radio. You said NFL.
I did?
Yeah. All right. I thought he said MLB.
Well, I just might be like mumble mouthing it.
Okay. Well, Major League Baseball Network.
Okay. He may have to take. He's talking about a 1-year deal with JT. JT wanted 3 years and $20 million a year and all this pie in the sky stuff. And then he said he doesn't know of any offers to JT Realmuto.
And oh, by the way, if Bo Bichette comes here, don't you think that cuts into his pie just a little bit? Like, sorry, JT.
Jason Stark said this a couple weeks ago that you with JT you can't just pay him a certain amount because that's the market, which I totally disagreed with. The market's the market. He could have gotten the 2-year. All indications are the Phillies were offering him a very competitive 2-year contract, and they were trying to be flexible with it. And they didn't take it, so now they've started to move on. It seems like they've moved on. I honestly, would you see JT retiring before he would come back for 1 year and $8 million?
That's what I was wondering last week. I said, is that even on the table? I have a hard time believing that he would hang it up. It just feels like he's still got, and again, he played well in the second half, turned things around. I think he would suck it up and come play for the Phillies on a low deal, if that would still be a possibility, then retire. I do.
Man.
You don't want to give it up.
Yeah, no, he's got to play.
I mean, he'd be the starting catcher. You can't walk away from that.
But if they sign Bo Bichette, they can't bring him back. How can they bring him back?
No, you're right.
Unless they give him a 20-year contract for $1 million a year.
Could very well happen. I know. They don't have as much money to spend as some of us want to make it out to be, but Bo Bichette's going to command a huge deal.
Ray?
Deal. I'm trying to figure out who else they're selling off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where he's signing. As much as you want to be respectful because he's about this respect stuff and he wants to be paid like he's one of the top catchers for the last decade, which I think is a bunch of crap. But all right, the Phillies wanted to pay you. You wouldn't take it because you wanted more money, and and maybe there are. See, like I still think there's teams that would be interested in JT for sure.
Absolutely.
But they're waiting to see what happens. Because the initial conversations that he has with the agent, if the agent's saying, hey, we want 3 years and $60 million, it's probably a very short conversation. And you have teams that are, okay, what are we doing at catcher that are maybe waiting to see. The closer you get to spring training, you have to start filling your holes in what you're doing. And that was the whole Phillies point of it.
Yeah, he could seek a longer deal all he wants, but as you said, the market's the market, and those deals are going to continue to fall off the table. Now, the one thing we have discussed with that position is there's not that many options out there. So if there is a team that does need a catcher, I mean, he's a prime candidate, you know? So could a team eventually overpay?
Yeah, for how many years, though?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody giving him 3 years at $17, $18 million a year. That's already been established.
Correct, yeah.
Maybe somebody gets back in, like the Red Sox don't sign somebody. I know they just traded for a catcher first baseman, right?
They traded for Contreras, I think, earlier this offseason.
Right. So they're not like there's teams that were in on a catcher that weren't. Maybe there's teams out there that'd be like, he's a huge upgrade over what we have. We do have some extra money to spend. All right, like we'll give you $15 million a year for 2 years. Sure, that could definitely happen. It just doesn't feel like it. He's not that kind of player anymore.
No. You know, we know what he brings as far as leadership is concerned, handling a pitching staff. Like, I think the proper case to make for JT Realmuto in a new spot would be, okay, he's a veteran player. You want him to team up with a young pitching staff. He can help, with that transition. But I don't know if the pay is going to match what he thinks in his mind he's worth.
But also a good team like and I don't know who the Padres have as their catcher, but they were rumored to be in on JT earlier in free agency, and they realized the value of like, all right, we have a good team, and he only makes us better because he's behind the plate. We have good pitchers. We have a good bullpen. But again, teams aren't going to overpay a player just because the player wants to. It doesn't work like that. These teams know the market. It's why this is why the teams wait it out, because they don't want to pay more money. So the Padres aren't going to say, all right, well, yeah, sure, we'll give you $20 million a year because that's what you want. No, where are the other offers? Bregman went back to the Red Sox and said, I have an offer for more money than you're offering me. They thought he was bluffing. He said, I'm not bluffing, and he took it. Right? So JT might be bluffing, might say, like, you can say this isn't enough money. You need a viable offer for it not to be enough money.
Well, the common theme with all these articles that are being put out there with, and all we're dealing with now is rumors, is that he has overplayed his hand.
For sure. And you know what he should have done, Ray? In mid-December, he should have taken a 2-year, $32 million contract. Everybody would have been fine with it. The Phillies would have probably done it, and we wouldn't be talking about any of this stuff right now.
Should we be offended?
I'm annoyed, but ultimately I'm happy because I think they're a better team with Bo Bichette.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But I've always said that if he's not a Philly this year, it's because he doesn't really want to be a Philly. Kyle Schwarber wanted to be a Philly. If Kyle Schwarber wanted to try to get more money, he could have gotten more money. But he came back with an offer from the Orioles, and he told them what it was, and they matched it. He didn't have to do that. He could have said, all right, Phillies, you give me your best offer. He didn't want to leave.
Yeah, you can go down the list on a number of these players, and that's pretty much how it plays out. It's like Pete Alonso. If he wanted to be a Met, he could have been a Met. He didn't want to be a Met. Now he's with the Orioles.
Right.
What does Bo Bichette want to be?
Well, the Blue Jays kind of turned their attention to Tucker, right?
I believe that was the last thing that
was the story, and that could change.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I don't know how much anyone's going to spend right now. It's kind of the weird looming question of this entire free agency. Phillies go in years is just their way of saying, well, we're going to spend the money, but not really spend the money.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to spend more than they want to, but everyone else is like, we don't want to give you a long-term contract, and we don't want to spend any money. It's all right, well, then you're not going to get a contract done.
All right,
it's a JT. You can't match an offer that doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah, you're right. What's the offer?
Right. Come back to us when you get one.
News at Noon's coming up at noon. Go figure with Ray Dunn.
How about that?
So last night, I'm doing the dishes, and I'm trying to call, like, Costco pharmacy, insurance company, something like that. And I'm on hold. It's like you call, and you're like, your current wait time is 20 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
So do you press 1 and have them call you back, or do you wait?
If that's an option, I absolutely have them call me back.
I do too, but I did that the night before, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, see, most places don't offer that anymore.
So I said, you know what? I got a bunch of dishes to do. I'm just going to...
You always got dishes, man.
I'm the only person.
That's a segment. That's it. Oh, this is it.
I was going to do it.
This is it right here.
This is it.
Yeah.
Do you know it?
Oh, I know this well. Yes.
So this is happening the whole time. And I'm doing the dishes. I wrap up the dishes. This is still going on. And I'm like, man, I've been holding a really long time. And it's now, I don't know, like 5 after 9, 10 after 9. And wait a couple more minutes. I have my AirPods in. So it's like, whatever. The football game's on. Yep. I'm still waiting. And I'm like, what is going on? So now I like Google the hours. They close at like 9 o'clock. They're done.
So you were on hold for nobody.
So if you're in the queue and they don't get to you, they don't disconnect you. You just sit there. So I sat there for another 5 minutes. I'd be still on hold.
This is a remix, too. The beginning of this song, I feel like, is what they continue to run in a loop.
It's a loop. It's not the whole thing. Listen, Ray, do you know this? I love this too.
Specific.
I feel like you can really get some swag washing some dishes to this theme right here. Yeah.
So it's effective in that you're not angry that you're on hold because I am grooving to it. And then I realized I was like, well, I'll just give it another 5 minutes because I like the song.
Oh, man.
Listen to it.
Unemployment had me on hold for about 90 minutes about a month ago.
They use this?
2 months ago or whatever it was. Yeah. Yes, I think
Is this it?
Yeah, promise you.
So you know how I got this? I Googled the name of the company, and it came up with this guy that does all the hold music on YouTube, and he plays a lot of them. And this was, oh my God, that's one of it. And then I Googled it, and I was able to find the name, and I found it on Reddit somewhere. But yep, I spent a lot of time on hold.
Yeah, it's the worst. It really is.
Not with songs like this?
No, but when they pick up, it's such a good feeling.
It's great. Then you get an idiot that has no idea what you really need. I worked customer service for many years. So
back when customer service existed, this day and age,
Well, it takes you 10 minutes to get through the VRU.
Yeah.
And then
I'm always hitting 0, 0, 0, 0,
a lot of places don't let you do that.
Yeah, now they stopped that. That used to be the quick fix.
I
Not
don't want you
anymore.
to do it.
Yep.
And then you hit the wrong button and
Start over.
well, no, but then it's like, but I don't want an automated system telling me when it's going to arrive. I need to speak to a person. Give me an option to speak to a person. No. It's either 1 for shipping information or 2 for some other recorded message that I don't want. Now I got to hang up and start all over again. Let me speak to a person. I figure out how to speak to a person. I'm listening to this.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow when you're on hold like that. Appreciate your patience. Just
Yep.
get somebody on the phone, please.
Coming up, news at noon, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Mazzulla, and a ridiculous take.
Love ridiculous takes.
That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
All into the season, I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call 610-980-4000. Following the Eagles' loss to the 49ers on Sunday, the timeless tradition of locker room cleanout day continued on Monday for the Birds. Offensive coordinator Kevin Toulo's job has been a hot topic here. It was a hot topic inside the locker room when media met with a number of players, including Jordan Mailata, who had this to say.
The blame can be pointed at many places, not just one, myself included. We're out there, we're the ones that have to execute. We weren't doing that this year, we weren't executing at a high rate, and that's why I think it's easy for me to say you can't just put all the blame on KP.
Talked about that lack of execution and where the Eagles might go at offensive coordinator with Jeff Mosher earlier on the show. You can listen to that conversation one more time on our website or the Fanatic app. 76ers beat the Raptors last night, jumping out early to a big lead and then winning 115-102. Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid combined for 60 points in the win. Flyers lost last night 5-1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers. Flyers, best birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, back middays with Marks. We are back. News at noon coming up in just 1 second.
Great to talk some Phils with Ricky Bo during the break. That's something new in my life.
Yeah.
Like that.
Ricky Bo Ricky Bo asked this question. Does this mean that JT's offer is off the table? I like if JT came back right now and said, all right, I'll take your best offer. I don't think the Phillies say okay.
No, because they need to.
They just had a Zoom call.
Yeah, they got to scrape money up for Bo Bichette.
Well,
Sorry, JT.
You can't give JT, let's just say, arbitrary number, $15 million a year and get Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
Give him a 20-year deal for $20 million.
Look, he's been around the league a long time. He knows how it works.
Yep.
You know, you either take the deal. If you don't, the teams have the right to pull it. It's not up there forever.
No. Oh, he so misread this market and screwed up this situation. And you know what? Thank you. Might actually make the Phillies better.
Spring training right around the corner. And, oh, by the way, 100 days today to the NFL draft.
How about that?
In Pittsburgh. You want to go?
No.
You ever been to Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Me neither. No, I've never been.
Yeah, for Pirates game. I've been there. I've been there.
I've never been to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's a good city.
I'll go to the draft.
All right.
Pittsburghers, not so much. Pittsburgh's a good city.
All right.
Yeah, good area, good downtown.
I'm a fan of Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Steelers fans last night. The rat Steelers fan that's in my fantasy football league. That's like, the Bears, that defense, they're going to the Super Bowl. And it's like you're on you're smoking crack.
Yeah.
Which may be true, but then he's also being like, oh, the Eagles. Oh, he's like ripping the Eagles after the game. It's like, bro, every Eagles fan on this chain has been saying they're not winning anything this year. Like, what? Like, are you that high all the time that you can't? Like, we knew they weren't winning the Super Bowl, and we told you the Steelers suck, and you were telling us that they can still win.
Is this an issue with all Steelers fans?
Yes.
Is that how they all are? Because whether it be one of my best friends growing up,
same with you,
someone I work with over at Temple, I was getting the same thing. The Steelers still got a shot. Steelers still got a shot, and then dancing on the grave of the Eagles like it wasn't going to happen 24 hours later for them. Like, they were going to end up losing. Their season was going to end. The reason the Texans were the lock of the week was not just because it made football sense, because I was so certain that those guys were going home and that all those Steelers fans were going to have to feel the exact pain that they were trying to laugh at 24 hours earlier.
Money was coming in on the Steelers late. How about that?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, people were buying in.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the news at noon.
This city needs its news.
Now, it's time for
I'd like to be remembered as a good newsman.
the News at Noon
That's the coolest story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane.
with Ray Dunn.
All right, speaking of the Steelers, it's a great segue into the news at noon because we're going to start with Aaron Rodgers. And, I mean, his career ending the way that it may have last night, pick six, and then the post-game presser.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Post-game presser, he's asked about Matt LaFleur and Mike Tomlin potentially being on the hot seat. And it's not a problem with either one of those coaches. One who had one of the more disastrous playoff exits of all time, and one who's only known playoff exits for the last decade. It's a problem with society, with Twitter, and with the television experts.
Correct.
Here is Aaron Rodgers.
But the way that the league is covered now and the way that there's snap decisions and the validity given to the Twitter experts and all the, experts on TV now who make it seem like they know what the hell they're talking about. To me, that's an absolute joke. And for either of those two guys to be on the hot seat is really apropos of where we're at as a society and a league, because obviously Matt's done a lot of great things in Green Bay and we had a lot of success. Mike T's had more success than damn near anybody in the league.
You heard from being with Mike for a season about him.
I've answered that a number of times. I've talked extensively about how I feel about Mike, and I just did in that answer. So thanks.
I'll just say this. I know Rodgers went through a little bit of a stretch where everybody was like, all right, dude, shut up. I like Aaron Rodgers. I'm pro Aaron Rodgers. Now, a big part of it is because he doesn't do the McAfee show anymore. So he's not constantly...
You don't see him too much.
Exactly. Saying dumb things and, the woe is me. But I love him on the field. Like, I like
5 years
Rodgers.
ago.
Yeah, I liked him.
No, he's a great player.
I liked him this year with the Steelers too. Just
It
weird.
was a better story than if they had some mid quarterback running around winning the same amount of games. He's cooked.
Oh,
he couldn't get away from anybody last night.
No.
In his 40s.
Yeah.
And it looked like it last night. The Pastors, they had no chance. The Texans looked like they were playing a different game than the Steelers
Did you
last
see that pick six when he tried to make the tackle?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Classic.
great.
Yep.
Looked like Sean out there trying to make a tackle.
Exactly that. You're right.
Aaron Rodgers walking into the sunset, cursing out a reporter for his last question is kind of poetic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right on brand.
You know darn well how it's going to end, or you knew exactly how that press conference was going to end. He was going to be asked a number of times, and he was like, I already answered that question.
Right.
See ya.
Well, and by the way, like a reflection of society today, the sports society today, no, it's not. The same thing happened with Andy Reid in 2012, and everybody wagged their finger at us like, Andy Reid, you'll never find a better coach than him. Okay, maybe not, but the Eagles will win Super Bowls without him. Like, Mike Tomlin, is he on the hot seat? Yeah, he should be on the hot seat. They haven't won a playoff game since 2016. What are we talking about? You can be a good coach, a Hall of Fame coach, and still it's time to move on. It's time for Mike Tomlin to move on for all parties.
You're right. And Tomlin had Harbaugh's back last week when he got fired. He's like, you got to have patience. Mike, he's been there 19 years, brother. Or 18. You're there for 19.
It was like when Donovan used to talk about other people because he was thinking of himself talking about it. Like, that's what Tomlin was doing because he knew it was coming. Got to have patience.
Yeah.
Do you think Tomlin's back on the record, Ray?
Yes. Got to chase 20 consecutive winning seasons, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Got to have it. I think he did enough with that victory. If they did not beat the Ravens, I think there was a good shot he was going to move on, but he'll be back.
Let me ask you a question. Why would he want to come back? Who's their quarterback next year?
It's a gig. It's an NFL gig. He's comfortable.
Okay, that's being comfortable is a great answer
Yep.
because you don't have to uproot your family, you know everything or whatever. You don't know who your quarterback is.
It's Tanner time.
Yeah, maybe not after Tanner McKee's game. That was my hope. He would come out and sizzle and they could get a second-round draft pick for him. Yeah, who's their quarterback? Like, at some point, don't you just need something new? And maybe I'm the wrong guy to ask because I typically, I wouldn't be able to do 19 years in the same spot. It's nuts.
Get Justin Fields back. All right, there you go.
Yeah, Jesus.
Oh, Malik Willis, guys.
Oh,
I
there
think
you
he's
go.
gone.
Everyone's favorite.
Well, listen, I'd give a flyer on Malik Willis.
Yeah, sure, man. Go right ahead.
He's going to get paid.
All right.
All right. Moving up to Boston for Joe Mazzulla. This is, now that we're moving past towards the end of football season, Mazzulla is going to make, I think, news at noon a lot more because he is just a tremendous, tremendous quote at any time. So last night, the Pacers beat the Celtics. Late shot by Siakam goes in, gives them the lead. They win the game. Siakam set a screen at the top of the arc that a lot of people are saying maybe it was illegal. Maybe it was a moving screen. I'm not an official. Who's to say? Joe Mazzulla certainly thought it was an illegal screen because that's all he said at his postgame presser.
Joe, give yourselves a chance to win, I guess. Take us through the last couple of sessions.
Illegal screen.
What'd you say?
Illegal screen.
Illegal screen.
Illegal screen.
What fell apart to get you guys behind, and then how were you able to get back?
Illegal screen.
What do you mean by that? What do you want people to know about?
Illegal screen.
Would you like to say anything else?
Illegal screen.
That's good. That's good. He's something else.
37.
This is the same coach that set up you aware of the story? He set up the media game against the coaches.
Did see that.
And what was the final score, Ray? 80-4?
Yeah, 80-4.
And they
which
were
is
hard
impressive.
fouling and the full court pressing the entire time?
Oh, he's a meathead. I think he does jiu-jitsu, if I'm not mistaken. Something
true.
along those lines.
He does.
Yeah, and he said he wanted to fight people, wish the league allowed him to fight. Yeah, he's a nut. But he's a good coach, and it's a heck of a score.
You can't argue with the results.
It was a great score by the Celtics because I didn't think this dude was anything, and then he was coming up to the ranks, too, if I'm not mistaken, with the G League. Yeah, good move by the Celtics to get him because he has their attention. Now, also to that, Jaylen Brown got fined. There was another. I mean, every game there's an issue with the referees in the NBA, but they've been going through it a little bit, and it did look like it was an illegal screen at the top of the key.
It was an illegal screen.
Yeah.
He's right.
Illegal
Who's
screen.
to say? Who's to say, really?
No, and by the way, bad calls happen all the time in the NBA. I mean, Jesus, watch one game.
Every quarter.
Yeah, it happens all the time. But, I'd be pissed, too. I've said this many times. I would like the Notre Dame coach at the end of the Notre Dame game. What happened in that game where he charged the official, where they called a touch? Like, it wasn't even a foul, and they called a 4-point play, and then they took it off the board, then they put it back on. I would have been in handcuffs if that would have happened to my team. Literally,
He almost was.
some of these umpires that make the calls that they do, you'd be dragging me out. So I don't blame Missoula at all. Right.
All right, last one for you here. And I'm just playing this. I tend to like Le Batard. I'd like to show on ESPN when it was on, and it's nothing really against him, but it's one of the more asinine takes I've ever heard.
Yep.
React to the Packers-Bears game, and this is what he had to say about Packers-Bears.
Those Packers, that's the worst loss in playoff history. That's the worst loss there's ever been in the history of the NFL playoffs, to lose that game in that situation.
He calls it the worst loss in playoff history. I'm just curious how we can live in a world where less than a decade ago, the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead in the Super
that's the
Bowl.
worst.
And the Packers went on the road to Chicago as the 7th seed with virtually no chance of winning the Super Bowl. And how that would be the worst playoff loss in NFL history.
Recency bias. It was really bad.
It was pathetic. It was a horrible loss. There's a reason why we're talking about LaFleur's job status right now. That's how bad a loss it was. It was devastating. However, the worst playoff loss in NFL history.
That's crazy.
Well, they scored 25 in the fourth quarter, I want to say something along those lines.
And that's also a common theme with LaFleur is they fall apart late.
Yep. Yeah.
And we just saw a couple weeks ago they blew a late lead in the fourth quarter, which totally changed the division.
Right. They could have been
made them the
hosting
7th seed. Yeah, they could have been hosting that.
When you bring up bad playoff losses, there's one game that comes to my mind in the playoffs, and it was Kerry Collins and the New York Giants on the road in the 49ers. Do you remember that game?
No.
They were up like 38-14.
Really?
Remember they had a bad snap, and the guy picked it up and threw it down there, and he got tackled? That was a wild card game. They blew a 38-14 third quarter lead and lost 39-38.
So that would have been after they went to the Super Bowl in 2000
against the Ravens. Yeah,
Kerry Collins was actually he was a good starting quarterback.
Kerry Collins had a heck of a career.
He did, man. He was good with the Giants. He was good with Carolina.
I bet you he did well up at Happy Valley. I bet you he was happy up there.
He was probably happy.
Yeah,
I agree.
From Lebanon, I didn't know that.
I can't imagine. Pennsylvania or the country? He doesn't look like he's from Lebanon.
Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
How about that?
Yeah. Listen. It was a bad loss. What are we talking about here? Worst loss in history?
Yeah, I guess you could factor in the rivalry portion to it. Of course, on the road, the whole nonsense between the two coaches. Sure, I can get there with you, Dan Le Batard.
All right. Let's talk back into the Phillies for a second. So let me get this first, all right? Bo Bichette, yes or no, is he signed with the Phillies? Sean Brace.
You know, the morning show said, are you drinking the Kool-Aid? And I don't see how you're not drinking the Kool-Aid. I believe Connor and Kincade are not. Dude, I'm drunk. I'm hammered. Bo Bichette's going to be a Philly.
So you're in.
Absolutely, I'm in. Matt Gelb just said we're leading the charge. He said the same thing last week. What's
Everybody's
changed?
been saying the Phillies.
They
are the
had
favorite.
a Zoom meeting. He's on a vacation or he's on a honeymoon.
When's the last time the Phillies wanted a player and didn't get him? More Yamamoto with the Dodgers.
Sure.
They offered him the most money. He got used by the player to get more money, and he actually went to the Dodgers. But Bo Bichette wants to be here. Does anybody actually agree that? Does anybody actually think that Bichette doesn't want to come here and there's using the Phillies? I don't think that. That's how Bo Bichette wouldn't be here, is that either A, they can't find a creative way to get it done because of the money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's because Bo Bichette says, nah, I want to play here. I think Bo Bichette, all else being equal, would play with the Phillies.
Yeah, I agree. He's a Florida dude. He's not a West Coast guy, so that's not a factor, right? I know you'd love to play for the Dodgers. And again, I'm a little concerned once their names being tossed out there. That definitely catches my attention. But I think the Phillies are leading the charge. I don't think Gelb is just putting it out there. I think he's connected, and it's something he's hearing, and it's a realistic situation right now.
Ray?
All right. If Sean's drunk on this, I went from a dry January to a damp January with this one.
Yeah.
Gulp. Yeah, I'm looking for the gulp. Is the gulp sound effect in there from the Three Stooges? I can't search it on here, but yeah, you're right. So you realize that people don't know this. Ray blurted out a couple weeks ago that Bichette, if he signs with the Phillies, he's going to walk to work. And he said it because you were not saying there's no chance, right?
I was pretty much saying, yeah, I can't see this happening at all.
Yeah. And now you're not drunk on it, but you're buzzed.
But when Gelb says, I think their rival executive saying the Phillies wield the power of multiple years. Like, this is a Phillies move, giving extra years to secure someone that they want. Whether they can make the money work, I still think it's a tough needle to thread of getting all your ducks in a row to trade someone away to make it all happen.
Right.
But it feels a lot more real than even how I felt this time last week. Like,
what about Friday, how you felt?
It feels more real than that. Yeah, it feels a lot more real than that. I mean, the meeting went very well. Everyone spoke. Everyone was very, very much on time, in the Zoom at the right time. Everyone had the right link.
Yeah. John Middleton, the microphone was only muted for the first part of the meeting.
It was a Teams call. Yeah. They were ready to go. So, John, you do the Phillies hits. You're on social media. You're on the digital side of things. And, of course, you are extremely connected and plugged in when it comes to contracts.
And, by the way, fresh Phillies content tonight on the Fanatics YouTube page. I'm going home, and I'll have that up. Dutsy will have it up probably about 7, 8 o'clock tonight.
So, the fact that the Phillies would spend this type of money on a player, Bo Bichette, we know how good he is. Like, how crazy of a world are we in right now? If he gets, let's just say it's a $300 million contract. Is he getting $300 million?
Yeah.
How crazy is that the Phillies are all in and putting
crazy.
This up? Yeah.
For everybody and on social media, when I see criticism of John Middleton and they won't do what it takes to try to win or whatever, you people are so out of your mind. You know what they could do? Look at the payrolls of the Cubs and the Ricketts family, or the Red Sox and John Henry, who's a billionaire and owns Premier League teams. John Middleton isn't like back when Norman Braman owned the Eagles. That's when car dealers could own football teams.
That's awesome,
right? Like, if you were a millionaire, you could own a football team. It's not when Jeffrey Lurie bought the team. He wasn't a billionaire. To own a professional franchise in today's society, you need to be a billionaire. You need to have a hedge fund. You need to be connected tens of billions of dollars. John Middleton's still from the old school. And I know that he had the tobacco company and he sold it for billions. He's still not the Dodgers. He's still not Steve Cohen. He's still not these type of teams. And he's spending with these teams. He's spending money to compete with the Yankees and the Mets and the Dodgers, the new money. And the Yankees, no one would ever overspend the Yankees.
He's spending
more money than the Yankees.
There you go.
So let's be fair. This dude is an unbelievable owner, John Middleton.
Yeah,
Shout out to him.
Spending more than the Cubs, the Red Sox, and the Yankees. Again, right now, MLB Tax Tracker has the Dodgers, the Mets, the Blue Jays, and then the Phillies in fourth.
All right.
Go and get them.
There you go.
I'll get a jersey. I'll buy a jersey so Ray can wear it on his walk-in.
And guess what we're going to do? Huh. We're going to start somewhere, and we're going to have the listeners come down and walk with Ray.
I like it.
Right?
Can I put this out right now where I want this walk to start?
No. It's not up to you.
Yeah, oh, no, man. We got the map.
What do you have to
apartment,
say? We got the map.
So it'll be from somewhere in my neighborhood.
Somewhere in your neighborhood's fine. But it also, if we're going to have you walking with a group of listeners, maybe you walk to the art museum and then we start. Like, I also would like a central location where it's easy to park. And then, therefore, people can actually come down and do whatever.
A couple extra steps never hurt you, right?
Fine. Never mind.
No, but we can officially
less
start.
Steps from the art museum. You guys let me off the hook. That's like half the walk.
We can actually start. We can start at your place or wherever you want to start. But we also need. I don't want people coming to your apartment. And we have to give your
right.
Your
I
address.
wasn't. I live close to Federal Donuts. I was going to say have breakfast with me. And then walk with me.
I wouldn't recommend having Federal Donuts before a long walk like that. But I guess you do need some food in your gut.
Some donuts. I'm not saying go chicken sandwich on there. Yeah, there's not a porta potty on the walk.
How many cigarettes? How many cigs are you going to burn on the walk? How many cigs?
Oh, it's a BYOC. Oh. Bring your own cigs, folks. Bring your own cigs.
Burners.
Let's go to Nick in South Jersey. His thoughts on Bo Bichette. What's up, Nick?
Hey guys, how are you doing?
What up, Nicky?
Man, I'm thinking about this, listening to you guys talk about this, and I'm just curious why we're not thinking more progressive like LA and thinking more in the sense of deferrals. Like I don't understand why we're so like if the hiccup is money, and we want to push us over the finish line, and then even maybe still figure out a way to keep JT. Like why not? Why aren't we talking like deferrals on Bichette and kind of stretching that out so it makes it a little more feasible?
Maybe they would, right? But see, here's the thing. It still counts against their salary. So while they're not paying that money right now in cash, it's still kind of like unless you sign up to a 50-year contract, If you sign, let's say you sign him to an 8-year contract, but a lot of that money's deferred. It's still the average annual salary. So if it's an 8-year contract for $300 million, it's still that average per year over 8 years. You just don't have to pay him like that, because the biggest issue with the Phillies is the luxury tax. So if you're paying 110%, that means for a 30-year contract, if you're paying double the amount for luxury tax, which is a lot of money, right?
It is a lot, and I didn't realize that with the deferrals, that's kind of. I'm glad you said that, because I didn't really understand that affected the luxury side of the luxury tax side of this. I just figured it was you stretch the dollars.
But the reason why they stretch it for so many years is so they can have that. So if you do a 10-year contract for $300 million, it's $30 million a year, as opposed to an 8-year contract for $300 million.
Right.
So you could set it in. Like, that's what they did with Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper wanted to be the highest paid, the largest contract ever given. Now, it took him 13 years to get that, right? He didn't get that over 10 years, and the Phillies were willing to do it.
Got it. All
right, Nick.
Well,
you think it happens?
Hopefully they close it, man. Hopefully they close it. I want it to happen. Either way.
All right, Nicky. Get your walking shoes on. What kind of walking shoes do you have, Ray?
Oh, I got On Clouds. Very comfortable.
Do you?
Clouds?
Yeah.
Is that New Balance?
No, they're a specific brand.
Oh. Yeah, On's the brand. Good brand.
Look at you.
Check them out.
What are the other ones? The Roku, not Rokus, but
the Alos or whatever?
They got Rogers. They got the Federer shoes.
No, not them. No, my wife has like 5 pairs of comfortable walking shoes.
Okay, nice. Can't go wrong with it.
And you can't get them at DSW or.
Oh no. I'm a Nike guy. But yeah, look, just to the contract situation, it's method to the madness, right? Like the Eagles have their own way of doing business in the NFL that's different than a lot of teams. The Dodgers handle it their way, and the Phillies do it their way. It's the business side, right? And then each team handles it their own way.
The Phillies are trying to get it done.
Yeah.
Whether or not they get it done, we'll find out. All right.
It'd be fun to be a Dodgers.
Coming up next, the Athletics reporting the Diamondbacks are close to trading for Nolan Arenado from the St. Louis Cardinals. There you go. Also, we'll tell you again about how to get to the how to get those 76ers tickets. Your phone calls as well. Back on the Eagles. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Locker room cleanout day. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Followed the Eagles' 23-19 loss to the 49ers on Sunday. Birds took to NovaCare on Monday for a final team meeting to clean out their lockers. Offensive coordinator Kevin Tulo's job was a topic of conversation as the media met with a number of players at their locker, including Jalen Hurts.
Do you want him to come back as the offensive coordinator?
It's too soon to think about that. And like I said, I put my trust in Howie, Nick, and Mr. Lurie.
We spoke to Jeff Mosher about the future of Patullo, the offensive coordinator position for the Eagles, and a number of different things coming out of that loss to the 49ers earlier in the show. You can listen to that one more time on the Fanatic website or the Fanatic app. 76ers beat the Raptors last night 115-102. Maxey and Embiid combined for 60 points. The Flyers lost 5-1 to the Lightning last night, losing their third straight game. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Ray Down on your home for the Sixers. Flyers, best bird stock in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Sean Brace.
Hey.
Ray Dunn. And I'm Midday Marks. So we have a pair of 76ers tickets. Originally, the plan was that you were going to tag 97.5 The Fanatic on Instagram, and I said you could tag us as well, watching the show on YouTube. So what we determined, we're like, all right, that's the best one that we've seen. So you tag us on Instagram, put us on your story, and then whatever we like the best wins the pair of 76ers tickets. Unfortunately, we're having technical issues with our Instagram this morning.
Oh, no.
Yes. So it's going to be difficult to do what we're trying to do. So, Ray, what are we going to do?
Tag all of us, as in at John Marks Media, at Sean_Brace, at Ray Dunn 975, done with an E, on your Instagram story or on your Twitter post.
So you can also tweet us at 975 Middays because we control that. And actually at 975 The Fanatic. Tweet it, like tag everybody on Twitter. All right? The main thing we're trying to accomplish here is you're taking a shot of yourself watching the show on YouTube, whether it's on your laptop, whether it's on your phone, whether it's on your pad, whether it's on the TV on the wall, and then you're tagging us on that, and then therefore you're promoting the show and people see it because there's still a lot of people out there, Sean, that don't know that we're back on the air.
That's right.
Right? So that's what we're trying to do, and whoever we decide is maybe the most creative or whatever reason we're like, you know what, that's the best post. You're going to win a pair of tickets to the Sixers-Pacers next Monday down at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. What are we calling it, Ray? The X?
The Xbox. Oh, you're going X.
Xbox.
I went Xbox. I'm going Xbox.
Well, what are people saying?
I think X.
The X?
Yeah.
Down at the X? I can't do Xfinity Mobile Arena. It's too wordy. It doesn't roll. Wells Fargo is very easy to say. Xfinity Mobile Arena doesn't roll off of the tongue.
The XMA? No.
I like the X.
I like the Xbox, but I'll get down with the X. Yeah, the X.
I like the Xbox.
X marks the spot.
Whatever everybody wants to say, I'm fine with. But I need universal. I don't want somebody being like, you sound like an idiot. That's not what it's called.
It should be a win. The Pacers are terrible. 9-31 on the year.
So they're going to lose? Last time we did that, the Nuggets didn't have one starter playing, and
Great work,
they were
was
minus
there.
900.
I was there.
You ruined it. For us, see, by the way, I take, whenever I talk up the Sixers, they lose.
Yes.
I was all in on the Flyers. They haven't won a game since.
Yep.
I put that on me. I take responsibility. I'm not doing it anymore. You're just as culpable as anybody else.
Oh, I am a stone cold jinx because I'm in the building. I went down to these games and they lost. No, not that Flyers blowout, but I was at the Maple Leafs game where they lost in
Fish
overtime.
game?
Yeah.
Yep. 76ers, you bet the money line, minus 900.
Wings had them in an underdog Friday night.
So you were emceeing the Wings and they lost.
Yeah. It's not frowned upon that I wager on the Wings, just so you know.
Oh, it's not?
No.
It's not like if Ray was to put money on a Temple game that he's calling.
Any collegiate sports.
Yeah,
I can't touch any of it.
Is that right?
Can't touch any of it.
Ray doesn't even have an app on his phone right now.
Can't touch any of it.
You really shouldn't.
Straightforward.
I'm not talking about just betting collegiately. You shouldn't even have an app on your phone. Too much to lose.
Can't touch it.
So what can you tell me about the Owls and their chances in the next game, right? Can you give inside information for me?
Nope.
What's the coaching staff saying? Yes. Especially some of the things that have been happening over the
Stay away from that. Ray doesn't know. Leave Ray alone.
No, not Ray. Not Ray.
So, again, if you want to win these Sixers tickets, 975 Middays on Twitter or on Instagram story, just make sure you're tagging us so then we can see it. All right? Make sure you're following and subscribing. And if you're watching on YouTube or maybe you haven't, it's a reason to subscribe and to watch us on YouTube because we're very fun. And frankly, Ray, we're obviously the best-looking show on the station.
How about that?
Obviously.
Especially with Sean here.
That's a shot.
Sean's a handsome man.
I don't think that's a shot.
Are they saying anything about my sweater, my Target sweater?
No, it's Target?
Yeah, Target.
Looks good.
Thank you, man.
Now, if you didn't have a T-shirt underneath and there was hair coming out, you'd get some reaction.
And I need some new T-shirts. This what do they call it? Bacon collar, I think they call it.
Yeah, I just went to Old Navy recently and got a bunch of new T-shirts.
Oh, man, this thing has got all pit stains on it. I'm like, man.
But you could stand to lose a couple lbs, but you're a handsome man.
I appreciate that. I'm holding it down, trying.
Certainly more.
I need a tan more than anything. Ugh.
It's tough in the. Well, Sean used to be a big tanning guy.
Yeah, I used to tan.
Like in terms of just laying out?
No, tanning bed.
He used to go to the tanning
That's
bed.
where I figured
Hollywood
we were
tans.
going.
Wow. That's
known
a throwback.
Known carcinogens. We talking about you smoking cigarettes. Sean was smoking tanning beds.
It's actually the smell. Yeah, you're burning your skin.
Definitely the smell. Anyway.
Do those things still exist?
Yeah, I don't think they're as popular, but the ones that were by me aren't there anymore.
I used to live across the street for one. Let me tell you that. That was a pretty good.
You
pretty
could
good
walk out
spot.
the door and get the tan and then go to work.
Just what was going in and out of the parking lot.
Oh,
Great
gotcha.
spot to
the customers.
Yeah, customers. Really good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So make sure you get everything in by the Twitter. Everybody understands the contest. Whatever we like the best is going to win by the end of the show. All right. So the who do we have here? The big ragu. What's his name? Swagoo.
Swagoo.
Not the big ragu. Swagoo. Marcus Spears. They're on the field last night before the Monday Night Football game, and he had the following to say about Kevin Patullo and the Eagles.
And I'm not going to teeter around it. Kevin Patullo ass need to be gone. This was a horrible year of calling offensive plays. And I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles offense is as bad as we watched it based on the talent. That's what kept us on the string all year long.
There you go.
Who's the guy I'm thinking of? Foghorn Leghorn? Sorry that he's. Oh, let me tell you something here, son.
Sure. Let me tell
All
you
right.
something, see?
So, okay. Again, I'm all worked up. I'm all hot and bothered because these videos are now hitting the timeline, and you're seeing more and more people breaking it down. And there were plays to be made,
right?
Guys that were open. I'm with you. Patullo's gone. We know it. He's an easy mark at this point in time. You want to get up on television. Although Jason Kelsey had his back,
he did. No, but to your point, and Ray, you'll confirm this. For a large part of the season, I don't want to hear about like the obsession with Kevin Patullo. Like, stop.
Yep.
Enough already. And then it didn't get better. Maybe even gotten worse. And I mean, like, I don't think anybody's going to argue that you need a new offensive coordinator. But a lot of this stuff bothers me. Egg in the house, obviously, everybody should be bothered by that. Did you see the hitting golf balls into the picture of Patullo?
You were bothered by that?
Yes.
I kind of laughed.
Here, I mean, sure, you laugh, but like, hang on a second. If this guy like Chip Kelly deserved every single morsel of crap that he got because he's a bad guy.
Probably more.
Right? No, like, all right, maybe Chip's not a bad guy, but man, did he earn every bit of the kicking his ass on the way out the door?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Kevin Patullo doesn't deserve that. He has proven to be incapable, and he did not do a good job this year. Can we leave it at that without hitting golf balls into his face at some indoor driving range, egging his house? Hey, literally, who's public enemy number one in Philadelphia right now?
It's Kevin Patullo.
Kevin Patullo.
Easily, yes.
He doesn't deserve that. By the way, the head coach.
I was going to say.
The head coach is able to come in and call plays too.
Yeah. Why is Sirianni just getting away with this? Like,
So I'm not doing a good enough job.
Yeah, I know we started to show up asking that question. It's like, man, he's getting away with all of this, and he didn't have a damn answer after the game. I don't know what was happening in the second half of these games. You played 18 of them, Nick. Figure it out.
And also, I saw there was an Instagram video of John saying this morning, and I agree with him. It's something that I said yesterday. It's one thing to hire Kevin Patullo as the offensive coordinator and to give Nick Sirianni, hey, you won the Super Bowl. It's your call. You get the benefit of the doubt. It didn't work with Brian Johnson, but you get the benefit of the doubt. I would have given him the same thing, and I would have been very worried about it, though. They had an opportunity during the season, just like they did when they brought Matt Patricia in because, what was his name? Sean Desai.
Yep.
Right, they replaced him because he's doing a horrible job. There was a point in the season where they could have made a move, and they elected not to.
Yeah.
That's on Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie elected to give Nick Sirianni the benefit of the doubt when hiring Kevin Patullo. That doesn't mean you have to give him an entire season when it's pretty clear something ain't right. Did anybody believe it was actually going to get better? If you did, you were doing more hope than anything else.
I agree.
And Nick Sirianni wasn't stepping in to fix things. So, hey, Nick and Jeffrey Lurie. You hired him. You had an opportunity to do something in the middle of the season. You elected not to. So a lot of this goes on you, too. Kevin Patullo, enough about him. He's gone. He's going to be gone. And like that's what happens when your offense sucks and your play calling sucks. Wasn't all him. The quarterback contributed to a lot of this, too. All right, coming up, Jeff McClain talked about Patullo's future with the Eagles on his latest podcast. If he stays, And this is something Martinez had said last week. Does he take a demotion?
Times are hard out there, man.
We'll talk about it coming up next. Middays, the Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Fanatics, Andrew Dick.
at 1 o'clock. Sean Brace's top 5 plays of Wild Card Weekend. Woo! How about that?
It was wild.
It was curated by Sean. I don't even know what's coming. I love it.
How about that?
Yep.
Let's do it.
That's coming up at 1 o'clock. Jeff McClain on his podcast, Uncovering the Birds, I believe is where he said this, was talking about Kevin Patullo's future with the Eagles. Listen.
This way they have an easy, it's an easy out. He's going to be removed, and maybe he kind of goes back to his old spot as pass game coordinator. And what you'll hear from Nick Sirianni is like, I put him in a bad spot. This is my call. It wasn't fair to him coming off a Super Bowl title to put him into this position, et cetera, blah, 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 which is fine and all. I also know how Howie Roseman works. And from what I can understand, or let's just say that I'm pretty sure that through some sort of proxy or some intermediary that like olive branches have been extended. Like they're not going into this this off season not prepared to find a replacement. So my guess is that this will move quickly.
Yeah, agreed with all that, except the whole thing of him taking a demotion and staying with the organization. Because here's what I'll say to that: maybe it happens. And Matias actually said this last week, and I called him crazy. Give me the comp for somebody doing that. Give me the example of when that's happened before, where he goes from being not only the offensive coordinator but the primary play caller, the only play caller, and now he's going to. I mean, how he got demoted, but then then he came back up. So, but still, that's not an offensive coordinator losing his job and now being the quality control coach and then staying with the organization. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that's something that normally happens.
Yeah, I don't think that that's probably in their best interest. I think a fresh start for everybody is probably the best way to go about that. With all love and respect to Patullo. Again, Nick, this was your guy. He earned the opportunity. He failed. It's not to say that he's not a good coach by no means, but I just think especially the venom towards him right now, it's probably in the Eagles' best interest, and I would assume that Jeffrey Lurie and company would say, sorry, Kevin.
But also, even with the venom, if he becomes the passing game coordinator and the assistant head coach, he's not going to be interviewed.
Yeah, but no, if you mean by the Eagles.
But I'm saying he's not going to be, all right, it's the Kevin Patullo's press conference. You won't ever see him.
Yeah, no, you would see him when they go to the box during the game and they're showing the box and now there's Kevin Patullo and everybody's tweeting, I don't even want to see that guy.
Can he wear a wrestling mask instead of
you got to put
the dog mask? Yes. Ray, your thoughts?
There's going to be a lot of venom for him. If he goes back to be a passing game coordinator and the passing game doesn't look good next year, we're going to be the only team that's ever run a fan base that's ever run a passing game coordinator out of town.
They create some position that has no real responsibilities. Assistant head coach.
How many CEOs do we need? I mean, we already got a CEO. We need another guy that's got offensive background doing nothing.
It wasn't my idea. I don't even know if that's something they would offer, but is that something he would take?
That too.
You're up ruining your family. He's a younger guy. I believe he has wife and kids. It's a great organization. You're working for a good head coach, right? Like a guy that's very loyal, obviously very loyal to his guys.
Yeah.
If you're still making good money, as opposed to, who the hell's hiring Kevin Patullo for a promotion of what he's doing right now, or even an equal job? Brian Johnson had to go to Washington. He was passing game coordinator for a year. I don't think he survived that job, did he?
Kellen Moore. Call him on line one.
Good point.
Line two, Shane Steichen.
Good point. No, you're good. It's the old boys network.
Yeah.
These guys always find jobs.
Yeah. Call Andy next. Although it'd probably be, in your best interest to try and stay here because who knows? Nick Sirianni could be on the way out after one more season. And now you're a part of his team. So I don't know. You got to find a new location.
Well, there you go. You just wait. They hire the new offensive coordinator. The new offensive coordinator comes here. They win a Super Bowl.
No.
And guess who's back as the offensive coordinator? We'll just do it every other year.
Exactly. No.
So Brian Johnson was with Washington this year again.
And he survived the purge of the staff. Not really purge.
Kingsbury's gone. Yeah, but the head coach is still there.
Could he step into the offensive coordinator role?
No. I mean, maybe. Sure, maybe. Yeah, I mean, he's the next guy up if they want to do it internally.
Brian Johnson could be sitting here right now saying, hey, look how bad it got there in Philly. It wasn't that bad with me. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Uncle Jamie. Uncle Jamie's on the line. Hello, Uncle Jamie.
Hey, what's happening? You know, a couple quick hitter things before I get to my Patullo point. Number one, the market for Bichette just got a lot tighter. Arenado's off the market now. Cardinals dumped him to the Diamondbacks. So now, if you want a third baseman, infielder, a little bit tighter market than it once was. Money's going up for Bichette. You can hear it in the background.
As soon as I said, Jamie, as soon as I saw the Bregman contract came out where he's $35 a year, my first reaction was, are the Phillies going to be able to afford him? Because he's going to cost a lot of money.
Yep, for sure. Second quick hitter. I'm now 500 on my college football picks coming into the final game.
They don't count. You
take
can't.
Miami. Take Miami.
They don't count. You didn't put them on the. You didn't put them on the air. The ones you put on the air lost.
Wow, it climbed up to 8.5. We're back up to 8.5.
Let me tell you something. I kept betting against Carson Beck. That is a good team, an athletic team. Very impressed with them. Indiana's still winning the game.
Yeah, they're winning.
Yeah, they're going to win. I think Indiana wins, but I don't think they cover.
That's a big number.
We'll see. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think Indiana can beat everybody by 30, but maybe I'm wrong.
It'd be tough, man. They sure beat up on Oregon. That was a hell of a performance.
Oh my goodness, what a great performance! All right, so lastly on Patullo, let you guys go. You know, I knew Patullo was doomed or is going to be doomed. When last night I'm watching the coverage of Monday Night Football, and they're playing on rotation this 12-year-old kid, and the 12-year-old kid is an Eagles fan, and he's saying, for my birthday, they got me these tickets, and Patullo's calling plays like this. Get him out of town.
No,
Tell
I
him to
know.
go flip burgers at McDonald's.
We played it yesterday.
That's the moment.
You know when something goes viral when like my mom's friends on Instagram are sending me the video saying, "Did you see this?"
He was on,
and I said, "Yeah, I seen it."
He was on all 3 local news outlets today: NBC, CBS, and 6 ABC. All three.
When something like that goes viral, you're done. There is no coming back from that.
See, that's why I feel bad for Patullo. I didn't even mention this. The 11-year-old kid. I was talking about him flipping burgers at McDonald's. Oh my God.
Ruthless. We are ruthless.
All right, guys. Have a good afternoon.
All right, he is.
Later.
Yeah, I saw the kid was all over my Facebook, all over the NBC 10, 6 ABC, and of course CBS as well. You know, and that's nice work. The kid's a star. He's a star, Johnny Marks. Get him a microphone.
Listen, there's not enough podcasts anyway these days, so why not get him started on a podcast?
I'm co-hosting at 10 o'clock on Saturday. You could join me in the second chair.
It's not a bad idea.
What's his name? Shane?
Something Salvo.
Sam, I think.
Sam Salvo?
Sam Salvo.
He's even got a great radio name.
Does.
Yes.
Think about that.
Opening Salvo with Sam.
Yeah. A kid I actually went to high school with has a political. I don't know if he still does it. He has a political called the Daily Salvo.
Yeah, there's not
his
enough
last
of
name
those
was
either.
Salvino.
Yeah, there's not enough of those either. Yeah.
Politics, I wouldn't have. No,
yeah,
I didn't. Wouldn't have thought
Everybody's got a take.
All right. Yeah, everybody does have a take. Stephen A. Smith even has political takes.
I was thinking Tuesday takes would be something that would be maybe interest you.
Tuesday take, where we all have a take and we have to sell it.
I like that. Ooh.
Ray?
I'm in on that.
Because normally I'm not in for the take unless it's specifically a take.
Does it have to be sports?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Like here's my take, and I believe it wholeheartedly. The banana is a terrible fruit, and no one actually likes eating a banana. Because it's healthy. You try to put it in a protein shake. How many times have you taken a banana to work and it's in your lunchbox or your bag and you're throwing it out after the end of the day? Do you have a banana in your bag?
I had a banana in my bag. Where's my banana? There it is.
You don't ever eat it.
No, I do. I got it.
Is that a banana in your pocket or you just have it?
I got this.
But you don't eat it.
No, I do. I love bananas.
You do?
I actually do like bananas.
I tried to eat a banana. Because my kids will eat peanut butter bananas, good potassium, whatever.
Yeah.
So I tried to eat a banana because I'm like, all right, I'll eat banana in the morning. I literally was gagging trying to get it down.
Man, these are great.
But it doesn't actually taste good, and you know it. It's easy to transport.
Yes.
It doesn't go bad without refrigeration.
Correct.
Yeah, you can't leave it in your bag forever.
Well, it's been in there for a day.
And it's inexpensive. Right?
Yes.
And you can eat it and it'll fill you up and do the job. But no one actually nobody's craving a banana.
You know what else I like? I like to buy them when they're somewhat green and then
you let them get perfect.
Yeah, marinate on the table.
That's the way to do it. Do you know a banana also helps you get your other fruit ripe? So if you have a bunch of pears, because the pears take a couple days to get ripe, you put the bunch of bananas over the pears. You don't want to put them over the apple because they'll make the apple go too ripe. You put them over the pears to get them ripe.
I did not know this.
Well, I have pears up on the windowsill to get a little bit riper, but then I have the other one stashed down on the fruit basket, and you put the bananas over those pears.
It's a good call by you.
I've got it all figured out.
I love it.
Coming up next, Sean Brace's top 5 plays of Wild Card Weekend.
Oh, and
Also,
it's wild, baby.
getting back to the Eagles, what can you say that Sirianni does to give the Eagles in terms of an edge as the Eagles head coach? Does Sirianni really give you an advantage on any given Sunday? That's coming up next.
Coach in the world.
By the way, the 12 o'clock hour of the program, as always, brought to you by, I got to find it so it's on the last page, Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates and tax credits, $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. Back after this.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Locker room cleanout day. I'm ready done with this Fanatic Sports Update. Follow the Birds lost to the 49ers on Sunday. The Eagles took to NovaCare on Monday for one final team meeting to clean out their lockers. Offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo's job was a hot topic of conversation when the media met with a number of players at their locker, including Jordan Mailata.
The blame can be pointed at many places, not just one, myself included. We're out there. We're the ones that have to execute. We weren't doing that this year. We weren't executing at a high rate, and that's why I think it's easy for me to say you can't just put all the blame on KP.
We talked about the blame game and a number of things with this Birds team with Jeff Mosher earlier on in the show. You catch that conversation one more time on our website or the Fanatic app. 76ers beat the Raptors last night, jumped out to an early lead, ended up winning 115-102. Maxey and Embiid combined for 60 points. Flyers lost to the Lightning last night, their third consecutive loss. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, best Birds talk in town. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It makes me sick.
Oh, man, really?
Yeah, I didn't even see you eat it, but I can smell it. I have a roast beef sandwich.
That's what you're smelling, actually. It's making me sick. The best banana candy, maybe the best candy,
Oh.
Runts. Runts, the bananas.
Oh, my God.
So good. I haven't had runts in forever.
Yeah, for good reason. Oh, my God. The banana runts?
So good.
Do they even make them anymore?
That's a good question.
Oh,
I
my
haven't had
God.
it. Yeah.
My roast beef sandwich back because
You don't want to
get to it.
You don't want to cross fumes with the banana.
Well, no, I have it's refrigerated. I bring my lunchbox.
Oh, look at that! It is fancy.
So I have a
Carhartt too.
Yeah, I got it.
You got a hard hat that comes with it.
Well, I'm up at the construction site after I leave here, Sean. You know me.
You're welding today?
Yeah, absolutely. I work the second shift.
Gotcha.
After this, so I have my string cheese, my polio string cheese.
Nice.
It's expiring on the 16th.
When
so
you
I'm making sure I'm
when
eating
you
this.
pull that out when you're sitting on the iron beam, do you get heckled?
I don't. Yeah, I'm sitting over. I'm on the 55th floor of the iron beam. Nope. Hard hat, lunch pail, and then the roast beef sandwich, light mayo, salt, pepper, roast beef and cheese.
Very nice.
Diet bread.
I was going to say, what type of bread?
Diet bread.
Diet bread.
Well, I'm diabetic, so having bread's not great for me. So you get the lower carb bread.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, no, it's Sara Lee. It's whole grain bread. Oh, believe me, the strategies and everything at the grocery store with me, it's like my life. It consumes my life.
It's funny you say that because I didn't know there's you're supposed to enter the produce section when you go to a grocery store. Did you know this?
Unless the Giants, they have the double. Acme has it too. They have the double entrance, and you can go in the non-produce way. But yeah, almost every other store is like that.
See, I never knew that. I always went to my parking spot. I got an In-N-Out quick. I enter one side. I don't care. But then I got told, no, you're supposed when you go to a grocery store, you're supposed to start in the produce. I had no idea.
That's how
I learned.
Like Wegmans, you don't have a choice. Some grocery stores you either start there, but like with Giant, if you go in the other door, then you're starting in the bakery. And and because I don't go there often, a lot of times I'm not sure where the produce is, so I'll walk in and be like, "Damn it, I went in the wrong entrance."
Yeah. No, now I start. Now I changed my ways.
You're supposed to get all the produce first. That's what goes in the cart.
Yeah, because you don't want to be carrying around the frozen goods.
No, that goes next.
The cold, all that.
That should go last. Yeah. No, I'm neurotic when it comes to how I put the how I put the produce in the cart and everything else. And then if you were to look at when I'm on checkout, you would probably be like, you need some medication.
Yeah, on the spectrum type deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And not low on the spectrum either. God forbid you start bagging it wrong. Because the inexperienced baggers don't know what they're doing. And it's like, there's a reason why I put it up there like that.
That's a take for a Tuesday, future Tuesday.
Tuesday take.
I'm so, give me my bags back. I've had enough of carrying bags into the store. I know, I get it. Now I'm going to get hate mail. But when I go to a store and I don't have bags, I don't want to pay for it. I just want you to bag my bag. Just come on.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Honestly, it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me in my life because I would have never bought the bags that you bring, but they're so much more convenient. I can get $300 worth of groceries in 5 bags if properly bagged. That's the problem. You get the high school kid doesn't know what they're doing. It's like, hey, you just put ice cream with something like with my rotisserie chicken. What are you doing? Don't put raw chicken in that bag.
Yeah, you can't.
Going
do
all
that.
over the strawberries.
You can't do that. Got to keep it separate.
All right. It was a wild weekend of wild card action, Sean Brace.
That's right. It was.
I was thinking about this. It was like an NBA game where the game doesn't actually start till the fourth quarter. The fourth quarters of some of these games, I mean, geez Louise.
Nice segue, John Marks. Let's do it. What do you say here, Ray Dunn? Top 5 plays from Wild Card Weekend. Yes. And what a wild weekend it was. First time in NFL history, there were 4 games decided by 4 points or fewer in a single postseason round. Rams over the Panthers by 3. Bears by the Packers by 4. Bills over the Jags by 3. And unfortunately, Niners over the Eagles by 4. All right, number 5 on the list. We start in New England. Patriots at home hosting the Chargers, and the story of the game was the defense. 6 total sacks, including 2 from former Eagles legend Milton Williams. Absolute havoc all evening long. Offensively, though, Drake May, likely MVP runner-up, put the game on ice with the only touchdown of the game.
Drake is under center with Munford on the right wing, the extra tight end out there for the play fake. Drake on a deep drop, slides left, throws into the end zone. Hunter Henry makes the catch. He's into the near pylon. Touchdown, Patriots. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about, Patriots.
Scott Zolak, you heard that on our sister station, 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Nice call by you. New England opens up as a 3-point favorite over Houston next Sunday at 3 p.m. Patriots 16, Chargers 3. Number 4, Jacksonville we go. Beautiful this time of year. Game on the line. Trevor Lawrence, or what they call him, T-Law, with a chance to answer Josh Allen's go-ahead score with a $1:04 on the clock. First play, drama over, game over, interception.
He's had a few of them this afternoon. Empty set. Lawrence back to pass. Looking on an in-breaker. Broken up and intercepted. Picked off by Cole Bishop. Game, set, match. Buffalo's going to win the wild card game here in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Buffalo survives 27-24. Final score. No Mahomes, no Lamar, no Burrow. You might have heard that already. Could it be the Bills' year, John Marks?
Yep, it could. And by the way, that rat, Sean McDermott, who used the tush push to get 10 yards on the biggest play of the game, and then Trevor Lawrence, it happened after that. I was actually I was at the cheerleading competition. Oh. And it's me, my buddy Zach, his brother, and then another couple dads. We're all watching our phone, refreshing to see what happens on the fourth down, and then the first and goal, and then what happens with Jacksonville coming back out.
Zach from the restaurant up there, Jenkintown?
Not Zach from not Zach Julio.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Not Zach from the Drake.
Gotcha, the Drake. Thank you. I haven't been to the Drake in a long time. Speaking of buns, great buns there. All right, once again, the Denver Broncos opened up as a 1.5 favorite. They're now dogs. Buffalo Bills opened up as a 1.5 favorite. They're now dogs in Denver. All right, number 3 we go. Survive and Advance is the name of the game, and that's exactly what the Rams did Saturday night in Carolina. 10.5-point favorites, but they needed a late fourth-quarter touchdown drive to escape.
From the 19, Stafford has it helmet high, settles his feet, shoots right side, leaping catch, touchdown LA! Wow! At the front, right pylon, Colby Parkinson gives the Rams the lead.
What a game that was, man.
Oh, unbelievable. And that's not Chris Wheeler back there, that's for sure. Could you be a little professional? Don't step on the call, people. That's MVP favorite Matthew Stafford delivering with 38 seconds left. Rams win 34-31. Now the Rams will go to Chicago, and that's where we go next, John Marks. Number 2 on the list, the Bears down 21-3 at halftime to the Green Bay Packers on a Saturday night. We lost Bob Weir. Saturday night's all right for fighting. But don't panic. Caleb Williams took over, a fourth quarter filled with Bears touchdowns, capped by a wide-open strike to DJ Moore.
Caleb in the gun. Swift to his left. Snap back, 4-man rush. Caleb with a double move. Throw down the left sideline. DJ Moore inside the 5. End zone. Touchdown. Touchdown Bears. They've taken the lead on the Packers with 1:43 to go.
Play design, who had that broadcast? Who was doing that broadcast?
That would have been, was it Saturday night? Was it Fox?
So whoever had
No, Fox
Amazon.
had what?
It was Amazon had that one.
Oh, you're right. Yep, Fox had it earlier.
So Herb Street did the Al woke up for the call.
That's right.
Herb Street did showed the play, and it was like great play design. You can see exactly how that worked. Double move, corner bit. It cleared everybody out for the one-on-one. Nobody expected it to happen, and that's Ben Johnson. That's what we're talking about with Sirianni and Patullo. When you look at all these offensive minds, it seems like with the Eagles, it's just okay, hut, let's call this play, and if guys don't get open, the play's not happening. Not with Ben. Listen, I think Ben Johnson is completely unprofessional for how he handled that whole Matt LaFleur thing. He's a great coach.
He's a great coach.
He really is.
Will they have enough to beat the Rams? They're 3.5-point home dogs Sunday night at 6:30. Soldier Field is the location.
Sean Brace's top 5 plays of Wild Card Weekend.
Finally, number 1.
Let's hear it.
Unfortunately, you know where I'm going.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I hate to do it.
You're doing an Eagles highlight? Let's hear it.
49ers.
I know.
Easily, it's the top play of Wild Card Weekend. Come on, man. The timing, the execution, and unfortunately for everyone else, the ridiculous catch by Christian McCaffrey.
Brock Purdy under center. He's got Christian McCaffrey behind him. Sky Moore in motion. It's a trick play. They give it to Moore. Now flip to Juwan Jennings. End around. Jennings throws it to McCaffrey. And he's got it. McCaffrey caught it for the touchdown. Touchdown. 49ers.
Yeah, that sucked.
I'm going to be like Mike Garafolo and leave the set like you did yesterday with the Cuz. The top play of the weekend's the Niners?
It's hard to argue.
I'm just kidding.
I know. It's not the,
It's the biggest play of the weekend.
Oh, my goodness. To call that, and it was again, just waxing poetic here. It was just the perfect time at the beginning of the quarter from that specific hash because you could not run it if it was on the right hash. And you got think about how many things have to go right. Like how many times you see a team pitch it and it gets a little bobbled, or somebody covers and next thing you have to throw it out of bounds or you keep it. And McCaffrey with an unbelievable grab.
They needed it.
Yeah,
like in certain spots in games, like with the Philly.
Yep.
Do they score there if they don't get that? Who the hell knows?
Yep.
But they scored with the trick play that they called.
And the Patriots had no clue.
Nope.
Foles was wide open.
Nope. And like that's decisive plays in big games that could be the difference maker, right? And the Eagles, they didn't even did they realize they're allowed to call anything other than the stupid same 4 plays that they call all game?
Did they run a trick play this year? One time.
The Goddard stuff was creative.
Good call. Yep.
They Dallas Goddard inside the red zone, but what was that Washington where they ran the hook and ladder and it worked? Wasn't it on a 4th down, Ray? Where they ran it was on 4th down. It was hook and lateral. And then he caught it, boom, and then it was executed perfectly. And in that spot, they felt like we weren't going to get it done unless we did something. And they were clearly practicing that because it was executed.
Love a good hook and ladder.
Yeah, man.
We ran a hook and ladder this year?
I don't even remember. I swear.
Are we in a debate?
Yeah, give me the dumb Nick Sirianni.
That's in my notes.
Yeah, I watch every game, every play.
No, it was they won playing checkers.
Yeah.
When they had to do something other than playing checkers, they weren't going to win.
Yeah, no.
It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Good stuff. Really good stuff.
Hey, man, top 5 plays and wild card weekend.
So real quick, because this is our nice long segment here. Looking at the games right now, and I want to pull up the Bet Parks app so I can take a look at the lines here.
Got some movement.
Yeah. So actually the Saturday game is the 4:30 game's the Broncos hosting the Bills.
Wow, what a matchup.
Yeah, you're not kidding. There's some really good matchups that even though the Eagles aren't in it, I'm excited to see the games. All right, so the Bills are now 1-point underdogs at Denver.
Yep, opened up a 1.5 favorite. Money came in on the home.
What do you think right now?
I'm Bills up. Yeah, I think Buffalo is destined here. I don't think anybody's stopping.
They've kind of sucked this year though.
They're hard to put away. Josh Allen is
Josh Allen.
He's incredible.
Yep.
And there's no Mahomes, no Lamar, and no Burrow. I don't know if you heard that.
Are they not in it?
Yeah. They're not in it.
Wait.
Yeah.
Chiefs don't play this weekend?
No.
They don't.
No Mahomes.
Joe Burrow's not in a playoff game?
No Burrow.
But Lamar Jackson certainly made it.
No Lamar Jackson either.
No. Lamar?
All 3.
How about that?
Can you cue up the Tony Romo soundbite? Because the Broncos-Bills game is the 4:30 CBS game on Saturday. So you know what that means. That's why you got to put it on the board, Ray. See,
you know what I mean, Jim?
The stuff needs to go up on the board right away after it becomes a drop. It needs to go up on the board so you don't have to look for it. All right? Forget it.
No, I'm saying, Jim.
Forget it. Saturday night, and this is thank God there's no Amazon Prime games because Al Michaels looked like a corpse when I looked up because I was at a party on Saturday night, so I couldn't hear it. I heard people complaining about the calls, but I just looked up and I'm like, oh Jesus,
yeah,
he could use a tanning bed.
How old is Al Michaels?
He's close to 80.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
You know what sucks? I've always thought he was the best.
He's 81. You're right.
I've always thought he was
the best. He's hanging on too long.
Tirico's unbelievable replacing him. He's been great. Joe Buck's great.
We talked about it last week, and I said it was after that Pittsburgh Steelers game where they won against the Ravens, and I was like, if you're Amazon and you get, Tirico's that, yet you're settling for Al Michaels, which really, it's not even in the same stratosphere of call.
Nope. Yeah, and the field goal is up, and it's a game-winning field goal.
It's good.
Yeah. He didn't even say it was good the one time. All right, so Saturday night is the Fox game, so you're gonna get Joe and Troy. Niners at Seattle. Seattle a healthy 7.5-point favorite.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
A lot of points, but Seattle.
Yeah.
My pick right now for the Super Bowl is Seattle and the Texans.
Ooh, you're going Texans.
Texans at New England. This is Sunday, 3 p.m.
I'm taking Patriots.
And that is the ESPN game. You like the Patriots?
Texans' offense is suspect.
Patriots are good, too. That's
Patriots
going
are
to be a good
good.
game.
I think Vrabel will have something. I like Drake May. I'm a believer. In Drake May.
It's not a Texans line, for sure. The Patriots, it's kind of a coin flip. Vegas is saying you could see either outcome. But if it was the Patriots -1,
yeah,
it's not a line that's screaming that they think the Texans are going to win. All right, and then Sunday night at 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
Bears 4-point underdogs at home against the Rams.
Wow.
How can you bet against the Bears at this point? Disrespected.
Yep.
They're home again, underdogs at home. Everybody's been writing them off for weeks.
Yep.
And it just plays into the whole Ben Johnson thing.
You know, in the Rams, look, I get it when you have a guy like Puka, but they need to spread it out a little bit more. And Parkinson had a touchdown, but they focus on Puka a lot.
That first touchdown drive, all four passes went to Puka. Now he got a touchdown. He got 4 balls.
What do you have, 2 in that game?
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's incredible. But I think the Bears might be the play in that one. I might take the Bears in that one.
Is their defense good enough to stop them? That's the question. They're opportunistic, but when you watch them, you're kind of like, I don't know. But then they'll get a stop when they need to.
Everybody has the Rams in the Super Bowl. Everybody.
Yeah, I like the Seahawks.
It's hard to argue. They got the advantage, and they've already beaten everybody.
Yep, for sure. Let's go to Herb. Herb is in Northeast Philly. Herb, hey, buddy.
What's happening, Johnny Mark?
What are you doing, Herb?
I'm over in Cherry Hill. I just went over to Locust Wood to visit somebody that's in the ground. So
you went.
Customer.
You went to
customer daughter that died of cancer back in 2010.
Oh no!
I just went to the grave.
You went and paid
there,
respects.
so.
That's nice of you, Herb.
Yeah, the people are a lot of money, billionaires, you know. So,
all right.
Listen,
what you got?
What I got. A lot of mistakes, a lot of coaching issues. I told you this coach got to go. That's my number one. He got to go. We got to get somebody in there that's going to mix it up and give us some trick plays and end the rounds and this and that.
So you're talking about the offensive coordinator. You don't want to fire Nick Sirianni.
No, Sirianni can stay.
All right.
I got to see another year of Sirianni, okay?
Okay.
But, he's going to be on the hot seat if this thing don't turn around. But the thing is, you had room. When the ball was at, the 20-yard line? Or
First and 10 from the 20.
Line?
First and 10 from the 20.
Right, okay, first and 10. What am I calling? I'm calling, an easy slant in to get to the 15. To get to the 15, an easy
You're
throw.
stealing my
Boom.
take. I said that yesterday. Don't steal my take.
Well, roll out. We'll roll out. Play, you get under center, and then you fake it and roll out and throw it to the tight end. Boom. Okay? It's an easy call. They've done it before. There's no reason not to do
I
it
agree
or
with you.
try it.
Second and 5, Herb. Second and 5. Listen, you're going 4 downs. So get a couple yards on first down. Even if you get 4 yards on first down, that's a second and 6.
Yeah.
Then you can run the ball. If you get 2 or 3 yards, it's a third and 3. Run the ball, throw the ball. I know that's your philosophy.
Yeah, run the ball, throw the ball, and that's it. They've been doing this mess up all year. That's why they lost 3 in a row. That's why they were 11-6. Okay. Okay. They got to change that because I'm going to tell you right now, there's about 10 or 11 teams in this conference, and they're all. I don't even look at the AFC.
No.
You got to get out of the NFC to get to the Super Bowl. So you got teams that are getting really good. Okay. And each year they keep improving. They keep bringing in more wide receivers, tight end. We got to get a good tight end along with
So Herb, listen. You bring up a really good point, which is sometimes you think that we'll be fine because we'll be back next year. But then teams are also improving. Like, you have the team that has the first year, and then they get better the next year, get better the next year. You're not guaranteed to be the same team that you were just because you were good and won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Look at the friggin' Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs thought they were going to win back-to-back Super Bowls, and then how many games did they win this year?
Now they're really in trouble.
Right. Like, are the Bears as good next year? They played a last-place schedule. Are they better next year because they take that next step? Caleb Williams, as much as I didn't believe in him, kid can play.
Oh,
man.
he's a stud. He's also the number 1 overall pick. But I think,
Correct.
You know what? We'll give you an opportunity to be just as good or improve? When you have good coaching. When you have somebody,
So I'm not doing a good enough job.
when you have somebody that you look at and go, all right, are you evolving, sir?
All right, in the NFC, are the Giants going to be as good or better than the Eagles next
Who
year?
are they hiring?
Well, no, but they could beat them again.
Yeah.
They could be better. Like, they could be the team that they get a good hire, they get a good draft pick. Jackson Dart takes that next step.
Neighbors was hurt, Scatterbo, Jackson Dart.
They did it with Daniel Jones, and then they sucked the next year because they had a good year from the quarterback. So, yeah, they could be better next year. Washington, who knows? Dallas, they might hire Jonathan Gannon to be the defensive coordinator. At least they were interviewing him.
Wow.
That'd be awesome. So they're in Jerry's world. So, like, who knows with them?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't what do we get next year out of Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni? Who are they hiring as offensive coordinator?
Plus, the Green Bay Packers are going to be better next year, too, from the NFC perspective.
Right. I don't feel like I still looking ahead, even after Sunday's loss, I still feel good about the Eagles going forward.
Windows open, Johnny. Windows open.
Remember the Phillies window. Everybody told me I was nuts when I said that the best chance that they had to win a World Series had passed them. Every year you get away from that World Series they were in, they've went down a peg every single year from that. So all of a sudden, I'm supposed to just expect that the Eagles, because people say so, they're going to be right back in it. I mean, the Eagles have proven if they have a down year, they bounce right back the following year. So the resume's there for it.
That's what I'm reading. Next year's the year. That's why you got to hang on to Sirianni. You can't fire him now. You got to bring him back because they're going to win it all next
All right, coming up, more on Sirianni.
Yeah.
Stephen Delaware has something about Sirianni. Also, Richard Sherman was on Nick Foles' podcast last week.
Don't have enough of them.
And he was talking about Kevin Patullo and Kevin Patullo's conversation with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Wait till you hear this. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Cleaning up shop. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, and so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call 610-980-4000. Following the Eagles' loss to the 49ers on Sunday, they had locker cleanout day yesterday at NovaCare. Team met one more time and then met with the media at their lockers. Offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo's future was a topic of conversation for a number of guys, including Jalen Hurts.
Do you want him to come back as the offensive coordinator?
It's too soon to think about that. And like I said, I put my trust in Howie, Nick, and Mr. Lurie.
Might not be time for Hurts to answer that question, but we made Jeff Mosher answer the question and then break down what else he's seeing with his Birds team right now. You can listen to that conversation from earlier in the show on our website or the Fanatic app. 76ers beat the Raptors last night 115-102. Maxey and Embiid combined for 60 points, and the Flyers fell 5-1 to the Lightning last night, losing their third straight game. Update also brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers. Flyers, best Birds talk in town. 97.5 for the Fanatic and 97.5 for thefanatic.com.
Fitz is good friends with Kevin Patullo, so he reached out and he's like, people are just so hard on me, and it's not my fault. And they don't understand the inner workings. And it's like, Kevin, we get it, but when you're the offensive coordinator with great power comes great responsibility and great burden and accountability. And so when you have A.J. Brown and you have Devontae Smith and you have Saquon Barkley and Hurts and people see what he did last year in the Super Bowl, they see what he did in the playoffs, and people feel their ways about Hurts, but you're never going to not put him in the top 10.
Why was he using the crying voice in the beginning of it? Did you hear it? He goes, "Oh, you don't understand." We're back. That's Richard Sherman.
That's what his boy Fitzpatrick told him. So, Patullo, sorry, man, but you were getting sold out by Fitz, which is supposedly your friend. I don't know Kevin Patullo. I would just, and again, who knows what's real, what's not, but judging off of what was just said, accountability. Like, Kevin, the offense was terrible this year. It was terrible. So it's not a matter of we don't know the ins and outs. Nobody cares about the in and outs. You know what we care about? Like scoring points, winning games. Yep. I know they won games, and I've been arguing with people in the last 24 hours over that. But a lot of people were like, dude, it's been fool's gold all season long.
Yeah.
And it was, because I was the delusional one. I was the one that was wrong.
Yeah. I mean, isn't this kind of like the nature of the business?
That too.
When you're the hitting coach and your team doesn't hit, is that your fault?
And you know what's going to happen.
And you're going to get whacked.
Yep.
When you're the offensive coordinator and you call plays and everything looks terrible, I'm sure there's a lot of reasons why that's the case.
Chargers just fired their OC.
Is that right?
Yep. Just got whacked.
Yeah, you score 3 points in a playoff game.
How about that?
Right?
With Justin Herbert as your quarterback.
Justin Herbert. Got to be. So the offensive coordinator is the fall guy this year, not his fault. Oh, my God. It's unbelievable. This guy comes up so small.
You and Sean Bernard is a notorious Justin Herbert hater. You two are the only two. Like, I'm a Justin Herbert guy.
It drives me nuts. The game against the Eagles, I thought he was great. He literally was their best runner. He made I was
a broken hand.
He was good. Like when I watch him play, I don't hate him. But when he loses and I hear crickets or I hear people blaming everybody else, it's like, what are we doing? Like, why is nobody else judged like this? By the way, Josh Allen never gets ripped when they lose. It's never Josh Allen's fault. No one's going on take shows and being like, Josh Allen's not a good enough player. No one ever says that.
No, and it's tough because, like, if they did not score that touchdown against the Jacksonville Jags, did not Josh Allen not do enough in that game? Like, let's just for a moment say a wide receiver fumbles the ball on that final drive that they scored the touchdown. Like, whether it's fair or unfair, criticism should come with it, and it does. But Josh Allen he's hard to rip.
Mark Andrews dropped that ball for Baltimore. That was an easy catch. Would it have been a touchdown or was it a fourth down?
Two-point conversion.
2-point conversion, that's right.
Yeah.
And then they win. So, like, Lamar, nobody gives Lamar excuses when talking about it. Josh Allen's going to be 30 years old when he plays next year. I mean, wait. You have to wait till he's 40 to win a Super Bowl? What are we talking about here? Like, at some point, it can't be everybody else's fault. He's the quarterback. You had said it about Hurts, who won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, you're the quarterback. You have the ball in your hands. You have more control than anybody on the field. Sure, there's factors into what's going on. Hey, Josh, come on, bro.
Yep.
Time to win, brother.
Good luck against Denver. Good defense.
All right. Got Steve in Delaware calling. Steve, go ahead, man. What's up?
Hey, so good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
I'm on the train of get rid of Sirianni. Here's why I say that. I'm not just saying it because of the season and being a knee-jerk reaction, but I'm looking over everything. He doesn't have the ability to adjust. He can't make improvements. He can't make corrections when things aren't going right. And I'm just tired of, when I look at Vic Fangio, he can make adjustments from the defensive aspect. And I look at Kellen Moore, he made adjustments. And then it changed. Nowhere do I see that Nick Sirianni can make those adjustments. Okay, we go hire a new offense coordinator. They play successful. If things go wrong, who's going to make the adjustments?
Nobody.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's supposed to be.
So if that's the case, it just doesn't make any sense for Howie Roseman to have to go out and hire another OC because you can't trust him to hire him because no one in his coaching tree is trash. They're all trash. He does not have the ability to command and coach things, even when it's like, okay, listen, you have too many weapons not to be like teams that were hanging around that we should have never lost to. We didn't lose to the Niners because they were better than us. We lost to the Niners because the offense has not been able to move the ball down the field all season long, and nobody looks at that and just say, oh, well, they're just the Eagles. They did it last year, and no answers, no corrections. And every time I look at the Eagles' offense on the field, I look at the product of what's being put out there. You can say you're not coaching better, but you're not getting it done. The results speak for themselves. This offense was terrible this year, collectively.
Yep.
So why bring that back?
Well, so what are you saying? Because, I mean, the Eagles are at their best, and I appreciate it, Steve. Steichen was, he had coached with him before, but he's not on his coaching tree.
Mm-hmm.
Nick didn't develop him and then bring him up. Andy Reid has a coaching tree. Nick Sirianni doesn't have a coaching tree, not a good one. Right? Like, Patullo would actually be on his coaching tree because he served under him and he got elevated.
He's got a dead plant. That's what he's got right now.
Steichen came in to call plays because he had experience, and Nick was a good hire for Nick to bring him in.
Yeah.
He didn't have a coaching tree. You need to go outside the organization to bring somebody in. The Cuz is listening right now because he just texted me about Herbert.
Okay.
But the Cuz yesterday was more or less like saying he knows that Sirianni's not going to get fired, but I want Sirianni fired. He was so helpless. Sirianni was so helpless this year. The offense is clearly in trouble. You have a guy that has no experience calling plays as an offensive coordinator. He was your guy. He hired your guy. And Sirianni's kind of like, what do you want me to do about it?
Yeah, and the Cuz is right. We're all saying the same thing, that he's not going to get fired. It's because it comes down to Jeffrey Lurie and saying, look, it can't be a good look if we're going to fire a head coach just because we don't win the Super Bowl. Removing Doug Peterson was a shock to me. I could not believe that they fired Doug Peterson, but I think that showed you what their mentality is down there as well. Nick Sirianni has earned another opportunity. As bad as it was this year, he earned another opportunity. And like we said, too, in the pattern of things, he's going to win it all this year.
But also, right, and again, you're right, but I remember a lot of people saying Doug earned another year based on the Super Bowl.
That's true.
And the Eagles disagreed. You know why? Because if you don't think it's going to get better the following year, then why would you give them another year just to give them another year? You're more or less saying, well, you won the Super Bowl, so we're going to suck next year because you don't have any answers, but we're going to bring you back. I don't feel like that with Sirianni at all. Because if you make the right hire at offensive coordinator, then you can, again, turn it around. But, again, that's independent of Nick Sirianni. What is he giving you on a game-in basis that you can say, you know what? No, man, he's a really, really good head coach. It's tough to tangibly put your finger on what Sirianni gives you other than the canned responses of
the resume.
Yeah, the resume. That's really what it is.
Oh, those guys love him.
The guys play for him.
The culture.
Oh, yeah.
The culture.
It's good culture there.
Nobody runs a better meeting.
He's detail-oriented.
And they did put a basketball hoop in there. Remember that shot?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, man. He's great at it. He's tremendous at it.
Yeah, he wants competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants the full contact horse.
Why don't we bring a new head coach and have some competition in training camp? Let's do that.
Ooh,
not a bad idea.
That would be a first.
That would be a
Let's
first.
have a playoff for play callers. They compete against each other in a preseason game for who's the better play caller. The Cuz texted me to say that Herbert was getting smashed around in that New England game.
He was. 6 sacks.
Was it 6 sacks? Yeah, he was under constant pressure, and their offensive line was banged up. They lost their 2 tackles.
Sure.
Agreed. So what's the excuse next year? The offensive coordinator got whacked. So clearly they weren't just blaming the lack of depth on the offensive line.
Remember last year's playoff, he threw 4 interceptions in that game against the Texans when he had like 3 the whole season. So he did deflate under extreme playoff pressure in that game. This one, not so much. I'm a Herbert guy, but I'm with you on the excuses. It doesn't seem like it's the same thing with Jalen and some other quarterbacks that are out there. That's all.
Oh, and then Josh Allen. Who, by the way, I have a jersey, a Josh Allen jersey.
I still need to hear this. Josh Allen just won the MVP.
Okay, Lamar won 3 MVPs. He gets shredded all the time.
Yeah.
And for good reason. At some point, the Ravens don't give him enough talent. Period. Like, you look at their talent compared to the Eagles. All right, Zay Flowers is a good player.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's a good player. But, like, when you watch that team, you're like, all right, do they have enough talent? I think they have enough talent to win, but in those big games, against the good coordinators like Steve Spagnuolo. In the game they lost to the Chiefs, the most recent one they lost to the Chiefs, Spags went into the game and said, you are not going to throw intermediate routes. You're going to have to beat us over the top. We're going to take that entire part of the field away from you. And they couldn't do anything.
Yeah. I'm a Spags guy, and I know his name is being tossed out there. I would give him another opportunity as a head coach.
Love Spags.
I would. You know he's bringing it defensively. That's a guy that has something, right? And I know he wasn't the best head coach when he got that opportunity. That's another guy that I wouldn't mind. Over Matt Nagy all day.
Yeah, I mean, it was also a terrible team. No one would have succeeded under that. All right, coming up, YouTube chat recap. We'll give you our 76ers ticket giveaway. We'll give you our winners. And we have a phone call as well. Keith and Sharon Hill told us we don't know ball. He told me I don't know ball.
Keith.
Because I was anti-Eagles. I don't even remember what I said, but he was telling us we didn't know ball because we were questioning the Eagles.
Jalen, I got a lot of that yesterday. You don't know ball.
You don't know ball? That's Keith.
Okay.
Keith, he's the coach of the 8-year-olds.
Oh, Keith. Love it.
That's coming up next. Middays with Marks 97.5 The Fanatic. Let's talk about my dentist, Dr. Eric Pastor. Listen, he could truly change your life. And he's my dentist, and he's changed my teeth's life. But also, listen, I'm a heavy snorer. I have sleep apnea. And I was sitting in the dentist chair with Dr. Pastor, and we were talking about my sleep apnea. And I told him I use a CPAP. And he's like, have you thought about using a sleep apnea device that will do the same thing? It'll eliminate your sleep apnea. It will stop the snoring. Because I was driving my wife nuts. Heavy snorer, moderate sleep apnea, and the CPAP, I hated. I would rip the mask off in the middle of the night, so then I would still be snoring. Well, this has worked for me. It's changed my life. If I knew that I could have done this and it'd be this easy, I would have done it years before. By the way, if you have sleep apnea, if you're a heavy snorer and you're sleep apnea, or just you're a snorer, you probably have sleep apnea. And if that goes untreated, the health risks are serious. Just Google it. Diabetes, high blood pressure, heart attacks, even strokes. Dr. Pastor is the expert in the area. He can help connect you to the right doctors and arrange a home sleep test. It's very easy, even if you've never been diagnosed. And this sleep apnea device is covered by most insurance plans, including Medicare. This isn't dental insurance we're talking about. This is an actual medical condition. It can be covered by your insurance. So if you're done with the CPAP, the uncomfortable straps, your loud snoring, and it's killing your partner, do what I did. Make the call. Reclaim your sleep. Reclaim your life with Dr. Pastor. So the website is drpastor.com, drpaster.com, or call him right now. You can remember this number, 610-67-SLEEP. His sleep team is standing by, 610-67-SLEEP, or drpastor.com.
Come on now.
Come on now. All right, Ray, we have the 76ers tickets, and we thank everybody. You got lots of videos in there. We're trying to promote being on YouTube. People took pictures watching the show. Some were creative. Some were more creative than others. We had somebody that was driving that said, I can't take a picture on driving, but I'm still listening to your show. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you should not take a picture of your screen while you're driving.
Right. I have to give a lot of credit to this person. I kind of want to put Brendan in the running for this, though. Just because he then went about taking a picture of the truck in which he's driving and then photoshopped all of our pictures onto the truck.
Okay, well, that counts.
So a lot of effort put into it.
I didn't see that, though.
And we're coming back with truck in. I like it.
Yeah. That was not intentional. I can't even. I fell ass backwards into that one. I can't even say it.
How about that?
All right, well, give us our finalists, and then we'll select, because we've seen them, but let's review them for the audience, right?
All right, we'll go top 3 finalists here. Casey right now is cleaning the bathroom floor and has us propped up pretty much right against the bathtub.
Strong.
It's a hilarious picture of Casey actually cleaning the floor with us in the background.
Okay.
We've got Brendan, who photoshopped our picture onto the truck, and we've got Matt, who is right now listening with his 4-month-old son. Glad to hear the two of you back together. Hashtag circa 2014.
Let's go.
Matt from Easton.
It was a great year. 2014. Great year.
All right, Matt and Easton been listeners since 2014 to us. And then you have the bathroom floor cleaner. I'd say they're the 2 finalists.
2 finalists. All right.
All right.
Well, but you also the Photoshop truck.
The UPS truck. Yeah. Truck. Yeah.
Truck. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, Ray, what do you think? Yeah, not a UPS truck.
Yeah, not all UPS truck.
Just a truck.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the truck. Honestly, the effort.
I'll go with the truck.
The truck.
I'll go with the truck. And we thank everybody, the listeners since 2014.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting us.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting us.
Nice.
So thank you. All right. And it's Brendan, right?
It's Brendan. Yeah. So congratulations, Brendan. We'll be sliding into the DMs here to get some information and get you.
Pair of tickets to the Sixers-Pacers Monday night. Tickets are available at Sixers.com. There you go.
Get excited.
How about that? All right. Let's get to the YouTube chat recap before we finish up on the phones, Ray.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in?
Let me tell you something else, man. Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
You got
Herb has a John Marks is my co-pilot bumper sticker. D Flyers from the YouTube chat.
It's your boy. Yes, it's your boy.
Yeah, Herb's been told he's banned from another show because he comes on here. Yes, so I was awarded Herb in the divorce. I didn't get anybody else.
Lucky for you.
I got visitation from Chuck from Mount Airy, but I got nobody else. Nothing else. I got Herb. Is that good, Ray?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I got Herb sending me pictures all the time.
Okay.
Shirtless pictures sometimes.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I got Herb in the divorce. By the way, just so everybody, I'm fine with you can call whatever station, whatever show, whatever you want to do. You know, you don't want to put people on, don't put people on. I'm okay.
Okay.
Right? If you're a good caller, I'll put you on.
That's it.
I don't know.
Good radio. That's all we want.
Like Kenny from the Dirty 30, I was with him Saturday night. He said, "Can I call your show?" And I'm like, "Yeah." What do you mean? Can you call my show? You're my friend.
Let's go.
Of course you can call the show.
Yeah. Please. 610-632.
Call Kenny. Call. All right. What's next?
John is saying Jalen is regressing with a crappy offensive coordinator for crying out loud. How can you make any progress under those circumstances with Kevin Patullo is beyond me. Spriggs from the YouTube chat.
Well, they're not mutually exclusive. You can still improve as a passer. Like, for all the complaining about Patullo, and I'm fine with saying get a new offensive coordinator, let's not act like that Jalen Hurts his warts as a passer aren't there.
He's a Super Bowl MVP.
Has he gotten better as a passer?
No.
That's not. You can't even argue that. You can't.
Am I asking for too much for him to improve? Like, we reference the Super Bowl all the time, and rightfully so. Like, he should be a little bit better. And I get it. Patullo was awful, but there's still plays to be made. You're not going to dial up 70-plus plays, and all of a sudden there's nobody open on every single one of them.
All right, good.
There's no way that we should be a struggling offense with this much talent. Having to hire an outsider to run Nick's offense is pathetic, and that says more about him. Mike from the YouTube chat.
Yeah, I hear you, and I don't disagree, but you have to, just let's pretend Nick Sirianni never coached offense, and he came up as a defensive coordinator. If you do that, you won't have the same internal struggles about Nick Sirianni being a fool.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that's how you have to treat him. Because it's now been 2 instances where a season could have been saved if you would have stepped up and fixed the offense, and he didn't want any parts of it. So, is it pathetic? Yeah, it kind of is. But if you take the equation that he actually is a coach with an offensive resume, and we look at him as a Sean McDermott or a Mike Tomlin, it makes it a little bit easier to swallow.
I'm the dumbest coach in the world.
All right, go ahead.
I like Bo. I'm just hesitant that when they lose, everyone will want to blow up a team that can't be blown up. Colby from the YouTube chat.
It's a good point. Yeah, how long do you? What happens when this window runs out? Are you resetting and then Bo's a part of the reset?
Ray, what'd you say? 2031 isn't a real thing?
Yeah,
2030?
not a real year. I mean,
2026. You don't know what's going to happen.
fake year.
All right? We got a long way to go. I'll worry about that when I get there.
Right.
And the going rate is the going rate. Like, people are there yelling about $300 million. Sorry. Like,
that's what he's going to get.
That's what these guys get.
Well, whatever he gets is what he gets. Either you want the player or you don't.
Yeah.
And if they can't make it work, they can't work. I'm not going to be mad at the Phillies if they can't make it work. Because they spend a lot of money. It's clear they're trying to make it work.
Wait, you're not going to be mad, but they bring back JT?
Well, I'll be disappointed if they don't get Bichette, but then what do they do? Here's what I don't think you can argue with. The Phillies had never been further away from winning the World Series from when they were in the World Series.
As of right now.
As of right now. Look at their lineup. They have Zach Wheeler, who's older and coming off a major surgery.
Yeah.
They're not a bad team. They're still a good team. But is this lineup? You don't get Bo Bichette. What's this lineup look like?
Garcia's going to give you 25.
He is?
30, hopefully.
He is?
I hope.
All right, what you got?
Brace stole that shirt from the green drop donation box in the parking lot after he realized he was wearing a Grateful Dead shirt for the third shift in a row.
I do.
If Bayless from the YouTube chat.
If Bayless don't miss, that's where I donate. You're right. Go right to those trucks. Drop off those bags. Yeah.
I go to the Salvation Army because they're, you know where the one is, Ray and Trap, and I just don't.
Yep.
And by the way, I'm giving.
Oh, yeah.
Giving good stuff, man.
Those suits that didn't fit me anymore, I'm talking some nice suits I was dropping off.
You know what I did? I actually was trying to like I where my kids go to nursery school is a church, CCV, and Church of the Valley or something. And I like emailed them like, hey, it's like, can I like drop off? Like we have a ton of good clothes and toys and stuff like that. I have nowhere to give it. Like, I'd rather see someone in actual need from our community get this stuff. And it's just more difficult than you think to do that. Keith, I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to get to you. I'd love to talk to you tomorrow because you told me I didn't know ball.
Don't know ball.
I don't think you know ball.
Who, me?
Keith. He's not going to be happy about that.
You don't know basketball.
Yeah. 76ers big win last night. I don't want to. We got to talk about him, but I don't want to. 80 points in the first half.
Sexy is out.
Villanova tonight. On the road against Providence.
Oh, I was just talking about that.
Cats.
Cats win, Cats win, Cats win. Coming up next. What's coming up next?
It's unfiltered.
Unfiltered. Baby. With Bill, how do you pronounce his last name?
Call on me, Colarulo.
Colarulo and Ricky Vitalico. See ya.